you day and night. I can't get enough. Oh, nah. I can't lie. I love the way you're messing with my mind. I can't get enough of my sweet Madeline. You're the reason why I'm waking up smiling. Oh, my sweet Madeline. Your name is written all over my heart. I can't stop. Yeah, I wanna be the one to hold you close, 'cause you're the only one I'm dreaming of. My love, my love, my love, my love, my love. Tell me, do you feel the way I do? 'Cause I only wanna ride with you. My love, my love, my love, I wanna ride with you. My love, my love, my love, I wanna ride with you. Yeah. My love, my love, my love. The things you do to me, I can't escape it. The air that I breathe even speaks of you. Yeah. Oh, I can't lie. I love the way you're messing with my mind. I can't get enough of my sweet Madeline. You're the reason why I'm waking up smiling. Oh, my sweet Madeline. Your name is written all over my heart. No, I can't stop. So I'm not giving you up, no, I give you all that I got. Oh, I confess with each beat of my heart. Oh, I'll be true. So I'm not giving you up, no, I'll give you all that I got. Oh, I confess with each beat of my heart. Oh, I promise you. Oh, I wanna be the one to hold you close, 'cause you're the only one I'm dreaming of. My love, my love, my love, my love, my love. Tell me, do you feel the way I do? 'Cause I only wanna ride with you. My love, my love, my love, I wanna ride with you. Yeah. My love, my love, my love, I wanna ride with you. Yeah, yeah. My love, my love, my love, I wanna ride with you. Yeah, yeah. My love, my love, my love, I wanna ride with you. I wanna ride with you, baby. My love, my love, my love, my love.
What up, though? What up, though? This your boy. Your boy's in the building. Your boy's in the building, man. What's cracking like it? What's going on with you? This your boy Tay Biz, man. We are here on a Friday, man. Just got paid. Friday night. Body jumping. Feeling right. On the floor. Yo, we here, man. We are in the building. Miss 2T's in the building saying, sup, Tay? With the dancing, like she feeling the music. She was feeling that music. She was feeling that music. Of course, the beautiful, the wonderful Chill, the mind of all minds saying, Biz Nation, what up, doe? And making sure that she told Miss 2T's that she is beautiful. That is what's up. It's all about love in the chat. It's all about love in the family, man. So let's go ahead and clap it up for the one time. Once again. How is everybody doing right now? I hope everybody's doing okay. This is a Friday night. Once again, we, hey, everybody might be going out, the Thanksgiving coming up, and we got football coming up this weekend. We got some heavy games coming up. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people just got paid for real. You know what I'm saying? So they about to be out and about doing their thing, man. But your boy is here, man, to go live, man, because we gotta talk some more talk. All right, we gotta talk some more talk. We gotta cover a few things. We gotta recap and then cover a few things. Okay. about the Diddy raid. We got to cover a few things about that. You know what I'm saying? We got to cover a few things about Courtney Burgess's lawyer. All right. The interview that she had and how it went left, it took a little turn. You know what I'm saying? Because Jaguar Wright, the lawyer and Courtney was on the interview together at that point. We're gonna get into all of that. All right, we're gonna get into all of that. All right. And we're not gonna do a deep dive. We're gonna do like a little toe tap, like a little toe in the swimming pool, just to see if the water is warm enough for me to get. We're gonna do a little something like that with her Instagram. All right, we're gonna see what she really about, you know what I'm saying, and all that kind of stuff, you know. So we're gonna get into it. Oh, come on, Roll Tide, really? It's all about that Go Blue. It's all about that to me, Roll Tide. I remember Go Blue though. Last year we won the championship. You know what I'm saying? We won the championship last year. Yeah, I ain't gonna say nothing. Else, Miss Two T's. I ain't gonna say nothing else. I don't want no smoke. All right. I don't want no smoke. All right. I don't want no exact. You know exactly what I'm talking about. There you go. See, there you go. You know exactly what I'm talking about. Now, this year, trust me, y'all have a way better chance of beating us this year. The Wolverines right now, my team, we don't know what's going on right now. We don't have a clue of what's going on right now, man. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, you know. But last year though, we had to handle that business on the Roll Tide. You feel me? We had to handle that business, and we came up with the chip. You know, and it's only rightfully so. You know, you see what Jim Harbaugh doing, right? He's going to the LA Chargers and doing what? Making them winners. He's making them winners because that's what Harbaugh does. Harbaugh make winners. All right. So this is what it is. But that's football talk. Nevertheless, yo, if you are here, if you are watching, please hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and also share this. Let somebody know that your boy Tay Biz is on the mic. We are here right now to go ahead and get it in and get into some stuff. All right. Oh, yeah, for sure. What's anybody games for sure this year? Off the rip. Look, I don't have any type of there's no way we're gonna get to the championship. There's no way I don't even know if we're gonna make a bowl game. You know what I'm saying? Like I think we're bowl eligible, but I don't know how it's gonna go, man. So this is one of them years, this is one of these seasons for us, you know what I'm saying? But we had a core group of guys that are now in the NFL, Aiden Hutchinson, you know what I'm saying, Blake Corum, and you know, Terrion Arnold and all these guys, you know what I'm saying? So the only one that's left is Donovan Edwards, you know what I'm saying? And he's the only one left. And once we get him together, we straight. Anyway, drink of choice tonight is Four Roses single barrel. This is what we're doing tonight. The single barrel number, let me go ahead and put it real quick here. Let me take my glasses off. The single barrel number is RN Warehouse RN. The single barrel number is 74-4C. That's what we're doing tonight. We are doing that tonight at 100 proof. We are doing it tonight. Let's go. Let's get it in. Oh, Ms. 2T said the NIL made the playing field very even. Yes, it did. We actually got my man Bryce Underwood to come through in Michigan right now for an NIL deal of like what, 12 million or something like that. I don't know about that much, but you know, me personally, you know what I'm saying. But he better bring us a chip in the next 2 or 3 years if he gonna get all that money. You know what I'm saying? So the NIL situation has very much made the playing field very, very even. You know, so it's a lot of guys that they won't even jump into the portal unless you give them some type of INL incentive. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of crazy right now. She said, Miss 2T said, I ain't never seen nobody have to take their glasses off to read. I'm nearsighted, man. All right, dang. I can't see far, but I can see near. If I'm near, I don't need my glasses. You know what I'm saying? So I was gonna hit you with one of these. You know what I'm saying? You better be glad I didn't do that. You know what I mean? Because I will hit you with one of those, man. If you are in the building right now, this your boy Tay Biz, man. We are in the building. Let's go ahead and get it popping. All right, so we're gonna let the latecomers come on in. I'm saying I'm pretty sure once this whole live notification gets circulating in the ether, you know what I'm saying? Once it gets circulated in the ether, it'll be all good. Miss Two T's, don't I ain't messing with you today. Yo, we are here in the building. We got our boy Diddy, man. All right, we are back in the building right now. We have recently discovered that there was a raid. All right, there was a jail raid. It was actually upon new discovery of and upon new evidence, it was actually a raid for the entire detention center. It wasn't just Diddy's cell. Okay. However, since he's in there, they did raid his cell as well. What they found was some cell notes. All right. So basically they found like a notebook or a notepad or something of that nature where he was able to write down some very important and impertinent information between himself and his lawyers, okay, and some other things. What the prosecution is claiming, they're claiming to say that he had you know, some evidence or some type of documentation that showed that he was making phone calls with his family and friends and people of that nature that's on his contact list, and telling them to, you know, bribe or to go after victims or witnesses and bribe them into a situation where they will not testify against him, or either testify in favor of him or not, or, you know, drop charge, whatever the case may be, right? So we are going to look at this raid again and figure out what's going on with this, because there's a new judge on this case here, and he told the prosecution to destroy all of the cell notes that they retrieved because of the fact that it was attorney-client privilege as well as work-client privilege when it came to the information that he had. So at this point, all right, at this point, there was a hearing today, and we're going to cover that as well. We're going to get into that as well. And we're going to get into the fact that, you know, this whole raid situation and things of that nature went completely out of hand. And Diddy's counsel is saying that this entire raid and things of that nature was very, very uncanny, very illegal, or it was not it was unconstitutional, all these type of things. So what we're going to do is we're going to get into this video here, and we're going to do a recap about the raid, and then we're going to also see what happened today, because today there was a hearing today at 2:00, okay, and to see if Diddy's bail offer would go through. Now, according to some sources, it seems like the judge is a little bit more open to the idea of letting Combs out of jail on the $50 million bond and the bond that he offered. However, the decision will not happen until next week before Thanksgiving. So I think that with my video that I dropped the other day, the attorney was talking about how they didn't have anything to go against Diddy after the fact. It seemed like they were being proactive with the idea of he may be trying to do something, or we got wind of, or we got record of the fact that he is trying to bribe victims or do whatever, reach out to victims by way of third party through his family. However, was it legal for them to retrieve information that was attorney-client privilege when it comes to him and his attorney? The answer to that question is no, absolutely not. The prosecution is not allowed to take any type of confidential information from you, because, again, you are always innocent until proven guilty. Even if you know you did it, you are still innocent until proven guilty. All right. So this is a very interesting turn of events that has happened. We're going to watch this video real quick. We're going to do a quick little recap, and then we're going to go ahead and get into what happened today. I have that video as well, and then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes of this entire thing. Again, hit the like button, go ahead and share, subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed already. We are about to go ahead and get it in. All the late comers, we appreciate you. Thank you so much for coming in late. If not, if it's just us and it's just us, I'm gonna continue to rock out like I always do, man. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Biz Nation. Shout out to Cat Not Williams, the extended family where obviously where we all come from. You know what I'm saying? So let's go ahead and get it in. Hold on one second. Miss 2T said, Tay, after seeing these dirty prosecutors with YSL, I don't put anything past them. You know what? I don't put anything past anyone. However, with federal prosecution, they're a little bit more meticulous. State prosecution, lazy. They're bona fide lazy. But when it comes to federal prosecution, when it gets to this point, I lean towards the idea of if you're gonna say don't put anything past them, don't put anything past them in a way of saying that you may have the one up on them, because federal prosecutors, they be on their game for real. And one of the reasons why is the fact that they are a little bit more susceptible to becoming political figures. They're a little bit more susceptible to that. And that's the thing, is like they are a little bit more in that vein. So everything is on the line for them. Like everything got to be to the T. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't put them past them in that regard. Okay, I wouldn't put them past the fact that they got something that you don't think they got. I'm talking about that. That is what I would not put past them. Like federal prosecutors be on their game. Seriously. State and local, like these public defenders and all these, like, these public defenders and state reps and all that. Listen, they super lazy, man. As you can see, look at the YSL. Like you said, YSL. The YSL prosecutors are lazy. They so lazy to the point where they have to do something dirty in order to make their case look like something. Federal prosecution, they already got evidence. You best believe they already got it. If you're in front of a federal court, you best believe they already have something that you don't think they have. And it will come out in trial. Trust me. All right. You know what I'm saying? From the very first federal trial of the mafia to this present day, most federal prosecutors have enough evidence to bring it to a superior court, and it be on. It be on. So I wouldn't put none past them in that regard. However, I totally agree with you. I don't think that they would not take the opportunity to get some if they could. You know what I'm saying? And I'm pretty sure that's what they were probably doing. They're like, man, but the judge told them, you cannot use any information that you gather from the jail. So anything that you got from Diddy's cell notes, destroy them. That's what the judge told them to do after this raid took place. So that was actually a win for Diddy. That was actually a small win, but a win nonetheless. All right. Let's go ahead and take a look at this video here. We're going to recap this raid, and then we're going to get into some more stuff that happened today. All right, let's go. What up, though, Steph JK? The building before we get into it. What up, though? What up, though? Appreciate you. Come on now. Another mod of all mods in the building. Let's go ahead, Steph JK. I appreciate you so much. Hit the like button, share, subscribe to the channel. Let's go.
Once again, but this time in front of a new judge, Judge Arun Subramanian. So this is the new judge overseeing this case. This is a judge who hasn't heard the bail issue before. And we have already seen briefs back and forth from the prosecution and the defense about why Combs should or should not get bail. But that brings me to what the prosecution alleged most recently, and we did a sidebar about this, because they claim that while behind bars, not only are prosecutors continuing to investigate Combs and presenting evidence to a grand jury for possibly a new superseding indictment with potentially more charges, but they have been actively monitoring him. And they say that Sean Combs has not only broken the jail rules, but he has possibly engaged in obstruction in this case. And therefore, he can't be allowed out on home confinement. By the way, as you may know, we have been trying to cover every major development in the Sean Combs case for you. And for that, I got to thank our sponsor, Morgan & Morgan, because they help make episodes.
All right, this is a sponsor. We are not sponsored. We are not a part of Morgan & Morgan. So we're going to go ahead and get past this real quick. Okay. We miss you too. Let me tell you something, guys. So, like, on the real, like, I have a crazy schedule, and I try to drop videos and go live as much as I can. I do appreciate you guys for, like, staying with me and sticking with me and things of that nature. After I was sick a little bit, when I got sick, I really was like, not really able to do a lot of things. But now that I'm good, I've been able to, get things going. So I'm going to get things going even more. And so I have I got a little staycation coming up in a minute. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going to be doing a lot more stuff coming up in a minute. But I want to say thank you to Biz Nation for rocking with your boy. Once again, I went through a little period there. And so I was like, I want to say thank you for people holding me down, people giving Cash App, man, Cash App love, Cat Not Williams, the whole nine. So thank you all so much. All right. Thank you all so much. Yeah, I was sick. I had a severe stomach virus. It was very, very bad. It was very, very bad. I don't even think I ever got that sick before. Honestly, you know what I'm saying? So I had to really let a lot of things pass through the system and things like that. And, I had my loves taking care of me. They supporting me, you know what I'm saying? And make sure I was straight. But, yeah, I was definitely down, but I'm back. I'm here in the building. All right. So we're going to do some live stuff on a weekly basis, at least. All right. I want to be able to recreate my schedule in a way where I can go live a little bit more often and also drop videos in between a little bit more often too. So I'm getting there. I'm getting there. But thank you for your support. My man KP in the building. What up, Doe? I see you, man. KP is in the building. Thank you so much, man. Thank you so much. Listen, let's go ahead and get into it. All right. I had to be a little sentimental for a minute, man. I appreciate y'all. Let's go.
The defendant's obstruction related to this criminal case is continuing. As part of that investigation, the government has sent grand jury subpoenas and document requests to the Bureau of Prisons, the BOP, for the defendant's monitored communications, including calls and emails. From those materials, the government has learned that the defendant has persisted in engaging in obstructive conduct since he entered BOP custody. Among other things, the defendant has engaged in unauthorized communications practices, including three-way calling on the monitored phone lines, use of other inmates' phone access code, or PAC numbers, to make phone calls on the monitored phone line, and use of a third-party text messaging provider through the BOP's monitored email system. Each of these methods of communications is prohibited by BOP. Furthermore, as set out in the government's November 15, 2024 brief, the defendant used these unauthorized methods of communications to continue to engage in obstruction, including by instructing third parties to reach out to witnesses and attempting to influence the jury pool in this criminal case. Now, look, prosecutors, they previously cited as an example this call from October 4th, where apparently he's speaking from jail to one of his adult sons. And while the content of that call is redacted, the government said that this is a clear inference that his goal is to blackmail victims and witnesses into silence. They also say that he enlisted his family to create a social media campaign around his birthday, where a video was posted online of them wishing him happy birthday over the phone. You actually hear him on the other line. Again, this is when he's behind bars at the MDC. And prosecutors say this was done to influence a potential jury pool. But they also say they have evidence that Combs may have paid off a potential witness. Now, how do they know that? Well, they explain that there were notes recovered from his jail cell during a widespread sweep of the MDC.
Okay, so right here where it says a widespread sweep, at first it was reported that it was specifically a sweep on Diddy's cell. Then come to find out it was a widespread sweep. So maybe this was a part of, maybe they made sure that it didn't look like it was just for targeting him, but it seemed like there was anyway. Let's go.
That is the issue. And we've talked about this before, but the MDC is a mess. It is plagued with violence. It is plagued with smuggling. And so there was a raid. And prosecutors explained that back on October 28th, the Bureau of Prisons and other agencies swept the MDC. This was pre-planned. It was done to ensure the safety and security of staff and inmates. This wasn't just focused specifically on Sean Combs, but multiple housing units were searched and electronics were found, homemade weapons were found, other contraband was found, but they did search Combs' bunk. And prosecutors indicate that, look, they were aware in advance that the sweep was happening, and they were aware that Combs' cell would be searched, but the prosecutors made clear they were not part of this search. This was the Bureau of Prisons. The prosecutors admit that they are now in possession of potentially privileged materials, meaning attorney-client.
Hold on, man. Your boy FFS. Shout out to FFS real quick. No. I gotta hit the air once for my boy, man. I gotta hit the air once for my boy. You said they were smuggling chicken pot pies, man. What? They had some Fulton County jail inspiration going on. You know, they was inspired by the Fulton County jail, dog. That's what it was. Let's go. Let's go.
Or work product materials. But they say, don't worry.
Shout out to
These
FFS
already went through
in
a
the
filter
building.
team before they came to us, so to make sure there's no privilege issues. By the way, when we're talking about privilege, attorney-client privilege are those private conversations between a client and a lawyer about representation, about the case, and work product are materials made in anticipation or preparation of trial. And generally speaking, both can't be used by the other side of trial. Well, the defense, as you can imagine, was not too happy about this. So they wrote in a filing, defense counsel has recently learned that the prosecutors are in possession of attorney-client privilege material, including the defendant's own written notes. This search and seizure are in violation of Mr. Combs' 4th, 5th, and 6th Amendment rights. Moreover, the targeted seizure of a pretrial detainee's work product and privilege materials created in preparation for trial is outrageous government conduct amounting to a substantive due process violation. Because the prosecutors are currently...
So this is what they're talking about right here. So what they're saying is, what the prosecution is trying to say is that when we got these notes, we discovered some stuff that he was doing that he shouldn't have been doing. It wasn't the opposite of the fact of, okay, we know that he's doing something he shouldn't be doing, and then we went and did this, and we was able to get actual legal right to do it. They just said, hey, we're going to create a widespread sweep of the jail. And while we know Combs is in there, we're going to also sweep him, and we're going to just get some stuff. So that way we don't have to go through no paperwork. We ain't got to go through no warrants or nothing like that, or anything that constitutes, a widespread sweep in the jail. Most of the time when you in jail and you go through a sweep, you best believe some type of contraband or something illegal is in there, and they want to sweep everybody's cell because everybody in there doing something. Whether they might be making liquor in there, they might be getting like smoking stuff in there, they might be having some shanks in there, some weapons or whatever. So what was the motivation for even doing this sweep in the first place? And that got left out. See, that just saying it's a widespread sweep in the jail means nothing. What was the purpose behind it? What was the reason why this widespread sweep was happening? Was it something of contraband? What kind of contraband did you retrieve? As a matter of fact, I have not seen anything in the news or anything reported that this widespread sweep recovered anything contraband worthy. Nothing. There's not been one thing that said during the sweep they found this, that, and other. All they talked about was Diddy cell notes. That's all they talked about. You see what I'm saying? So this is already a suspicious sweep in the first place, which is why the lawyer from the other episode that represents like Drake and Meek Mill and all them, he was saying that this doesn't make sense. This doesn't make sense because you have to have probable cause in order to even do something like that to a person's particular cell. They didn't have that. You know what I'm saying? They just said, oh, we're going to just do a widespread, and then all of a sudden we're going to see what we find out. That is not the way you do that. There is even though you're an inmate in jail, you still have rights. You still have rights. And the thing is was those rights violated, right? And that's the thing that the defense is saying. The defense is saying the rights was violated because you got attorney-client privilege information that belongs to my client, and now the judge ruled that you have to destroy it. Because the judge did rule that the prosecution could not use Diddy's cell notes and records that he had when it come to him and his attorney. So at the end of the day, this does not look good for the prosecution. Now, to go back to what Ms. 2T said earlier, this is where the prosecution started looking bad. When they do stuff like this, it's when they do stuff like this where it's like you can't trust at all the system, because you have people who do things like this in the DA office, in the attorney general office. You know what I'm saying? So this is where it gets muddy, and you cannot come out the mud clean. Let me go to the chat real quick before we get back started. Yo, we see some people in the chat. Hold on. Let me go up a little bit. Let me go up a little bit. Okay. Is that Shy Diggy? I hope I'm saying that. I'm so sorry if I'm butchering your name. I apologize. Try dig in the building. Let's see what's going on. There it is. In the building. I have not seen you in here before, but I appreciate you coming to the Biz Nation real quick for the one time. Real quick. She like FFS. That's what's up. All right, that's what's up. That's what's up. That is what's up. That is what's up. Deja Jones in the building. What up, though? DJ in the building. Hey, TB in the Biz Nation. What up, though? Appreciate you stopping by. Appreciate you stopping by. I said, Biz Nation, let's go. We in here. Let's go. That's right, KP. We in here, dog. We are in here, dog. FFS says that Tay Biz, even if they did, I typically stand up for the people's rights getting violated. But he's a POSFK. Respectfully speaking. That's true. That is, listen. That is definitely true. But you know what's so funny about this is what's so weird about the system. Even if the person is a POS and you want to say F them, they still have the right to a fair trial. They still have a right to a fair shake. Even if you know everything is true, they still have a right to a fair trial and shake. And some of us have a bias, some of us don't. Some of us are a little bit more objective with it. But when it comes to court of public opinion, it's always going to be a mix and match, all right? But listen, he still deserves a fair trial, even though I am not in disagreement with none of this. I'm not in disagreement. However, he deserves by right as a citizen of this country that he does represent and that he does pay taxes in. Because we ain't never heard him in no tax situation. He still deserves a fair trial, even though we cannot stand him. So that's the kind of approach I'm taking with this, because again, I agree with you 100%, dog. FFS, shout out. I agree with you. He said some folks here. Let's go. Linda Bonsham said, I just love your hat. Well, I appreciate you loving my hat. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. KP says not proven guilty still constitutionally has rights, Fourth Amendment especially. There you go. So, I mean, we have our opinion. See, court of public opinion could be correct. You know what I'm saying? And for the most part, in this situation, in this Diddy situation, the public is like, yo, we don't care about as much evidence and stuff has been coming out and all that kind of stuff. And the way he just turned around that next day settlement with your girl Cassie. Oh, there is some breadcrumbs leading back to the castle of his craziness. So, you know, I understand people's public opinion. I get it. I totally get it. Miss 2T said I said the same thing earlier today till I had a flashback of him beating. Exactly. And see, and that's the thing. Even in that, there was something that came out even about that said that Diddy was saying something about the fact that the entire situation did not come out, and it made him look like he was just, you know, being domestically violent towards her. Again, this is the reason why. This is the reason why you can't have a dog in the fight when it comes to these type of cases. It's best to not have a dog in the fight when it comes to these type of cases, because let me tell you something. Two things can be true at the same time. A broken watch is right twice a day. Let me tell you something. Let me tell you something, man. You could be in a situation where somebody is coming at you, they being flirty, they being all kind of nice to you and everything like that. And then all they're doing is trying to use you for an opportunity. And then when they don't get that opportunity with you, all of a sudden you become a predator. There are cases, there are situations where that happens. You see what I'm saying? Think about it even from a family perspective. Like when your family wants you to do something for them or whatever. You are the best cousin in the world when they want you to do something for them. But when you say no, all of a sudden you the worst cousin in the world and you cheated on your husband and you was terrible and you a liar. You see what I'm saying? You see how everything starts unpacking? This is the reason why you need to be quiet. Stop telling people your business, because all you're doing is giving them bullets inside that gun so they can shoot at you. You know what I'm saying? And this is the thing. Now, you mean to tell me every last victim, alleged victim, is all victims in this case? Come on now. That's what I'm saying. That's what I'm saying. You gotta have an unbiased. You gotta have an unbiased approach with this. You mean to tell me every last person since the Cassie settlement, all of them are victims? All of them. Every last one. None of them saw an opportunity and wanted to do something. You mean to tell me there's some people out here who don't look at an opportunity and won't do nothing or won't do everything it takes to fulfill that opportunity? Come on now. You already know. Look at your personal life. You already know if there are people that's attached to you or around you or in your circle, your family or whatever, if they can find an opportunity that comes from you, they will get close to you. As soon as the opportunity wear out, they wear out. This is the same thing, but it's happening to a celebrity. It's happening to somebody who's been in the industry. It's happening to somebody who's been on the Hollywood, the Walk of Fame or whatever. So think about it in that regard, because I can't sit here and be total and be genuine and genuinely say every last person, woman, man, or every last one of these individuals literally were victims, had no idea what they were getting into before they got into it. Again, it goes back to like relationships. You see everything wrong with the person, but you feel like you can change it, so you start going into it. You know this is a bad situation. You walk into it anyway. Come on now. That's not all of them. That's not all of them. So at some point there has to be a level of accountability. So that's all I'm saying. So in this situation, it's kind of weird, man. It's super weird, because it's gonna be a lot of victims that's for real. And that's the thing. People who are actual victims, see, this is where my heart gets a little heavy, because I know personally in my own circle, in my own tight circle and family, where there are some actual things that happen to somebody. And so if you have a mob of people saying the same thing, and you got like 80% of them just looking for an opportunity, it dilutes the integrity of those victims who are actual victims. Like, if you know you're not a real victim of something, stop pretending like you are. Stop pretending like you are. If you know, if you have 4 baby daddies and 6 kids, stop acting like you a victim. For real. Don't you dare come to me now. Now I'm man number 7. And now you want to come to me like it was just a bad situation. Like they made me think things like it was this one guy, he was married and he never even told me he was married. And I was with him for 4 years. You with somebody for 4 years and you have no idea what's happening with them. Stop. And you gave your body to them. Stop it. That's a different situation. But when you are a real victim, if you are a real victim of something, then other people who pretend to be victims, see, it makes everything look bad. And I don't like people like that. Like, don't pretend to be a victim when you're not. There are some people out here really hurt. There are some people from Diddy, from this whole Diddy situation, that's legit hurting. That's legit, like, can't move on from certain things from recent history. So don't come back. This 30 years ago. Now you want to be like, you know what? I want $5 million for the time he slapped me in the face at a Philly cheesesteak factory. You know, like, come on, man. Like, what are we doing here? What are we really doing here? You know what I'm saying? So that is my approach to this. I'm going to try to be as unbiased as I can, and because I'm still human, and I want to be that because I want to make sure that we understand that if you were in a situation where you were convicted of something or accused of something, I'm not going to say convicted, but charged with something, and you know that you did not do it, or you feel like you didn't do that, then I would want you to be treated fairly as well if you know you have a trial or anything coming up. That's the whole point. That's the whole point. All right, let's get to it. Let's get to it. I'm sorry to rant and rave, but let's get to it.
Currently in possession of privileged material and are actively using this material to detain the defendant, the defense requests an immediate evidentiary hearing. And yes, the judge ordered this emergency hearing. This was yesterday. This is what we're going to talk about in a little bit. But just to give you an idea of what we're focusing on here, this was the prosecution's argument. They said they did nothing wrong. As I mentioned, they said, look, we weren't part of the sweep at the jail. There was this investigator from the Bureau of Prisons who was there. He interviewed Sean Combs about contraband, and he found in Combs' bunk or on Combs' bunk a manila folder marked legal, another notebook, an address book, and some personal effects of Sean Combs. He ended up taking photos of the notebook and the address book, but he didn't take anything. But to be clear, since a lot of this is redacted, we don't really know exactly what the contents of this notebook were. But this investigator alerted prosecutors that he took photos, and he said that the notebook was about Combs' notes to himself. Now, prosecutors said, okay, we want to be completely safe on this. Send all the photos to a filter team, make sure there's no privileged materials. After that filter team reviewed, they sent certain photos to the prosecution team, and the government admits, yes, we used these photos of Sean Combs' notebooks in our motion to oppose his bail. We used it. For example, there was evidence from these photos to prove that he had paid a potential witness. And they argue that despite the defense's claims, this wasn't a targeted seizure of the defendant, and the photographs didn't violate Sean Combs' constitutional rights. The defense, they responded in their own filing. They wrote, the government's letter only reinforces the fact that the government has committed an egregious, willful, and harmful breach of the attorney-client privilege and has become privy to defendants and defense counsel's trial strategy, including areas of expert testimony, witness strategy, and other confidential matters. They say this investigator actually took photos of more materials than the prosecution claims, namely that he took photos of several legal pads. And the defense says that of the 19 pages the prosecution had sent over to them, these kind of photographs that were recovered, 11 of them are Sean Combs' notes to his lawyers, actual conversations about trial preparation and bail. His defense team writes, on top of his legal pads and notes, he has a folder marked legal. This is to put anyone on notice that everything along with the folder marked legal is exactly what it says. Legal attorney-client materials that he brings to his meetings with his lawyers to prepare his investigative and his trial strategy. Two different arguments, two different sides. Now we have this hearing from yesterday to get to the bottom of what happened. Now, to be clear, this is what we do now. There's no cameras in the courtroom, unfortunately, so we're doing our best to report to you about what happened. It was reported that Sean Combs appeared in court, that he was wearing a tan olive jumpsuit, similar to the one that he wore last time, maybe the same one he wore last time. The judge actually, by the way, granted the defense's request for Combs to be unshackled too, maybe even for the future proceedings as well. And from there, the arguments began. Again, no cameras in the courtroom, electronic devices are limited, so this is the best recap we can do based on the reporting. So Combs' lawyer, Mark Agnifilo, told the court that he believes that this sweep of the MDC was actually a pretext to target Sean Combs. He explained that this is a clear violation of Sean Combs' constitutional rights, that he has an expectation of privacy in his legal notes. A few things, by the way. Let's talk about this. So he is correct. A criminal defendant does have privacy rights in privileged documents, conversations, materials. In terms of a Fourth Amendment right against unreasonable search and seizures, that privacy right, that is limited in a detention context because those rights can be trumped if there are issues with maintaining security and order at a jail or prison. But Mark Agnifilo also reportedly says he wants the surveillance video of the search. He wants the communications about the investigator. He wants to know the role of the United States Attorney's Office, who said what to whom, whether there was even a violation of Sean Combs' Fifth Amendment rights. And that deals with self-incrimination, but more specifically, due process rights, how the government can't take away your life, liberty, or property without due process of law. And get this, Agnifilo says this is so bad, this is so egregious, he may ask that this whole indictment be dismissed, or he may ask that the prosecutors have to recuse themselves. By the way, you might be saying, that seems not like it's ever going to happen. That seems nuts. Go back and watch what happened to Alec Baldwin in his manslaughter case. The prosecutors withheld evidence in that case. The judge was so...
That lady right there. That lady right there, Miss Linda?
What happened to Alec Baldwin in his manslaughter case? The prosecutors...
This lady right here, her name was Linda Campo Johnson or something like that. I can't remember offhand. Oh, yeah, it can't happen. It's like, listen, this lady recused herself. She recused herself during lunch break when she found out that the prosecution withheld evidence and it was Brady material. The judge had a hearing right then and there. Once it was presented to the court, the jury was done for the day. That case was dismissed that day. That day. See, You gotta be careful. See, this is what I'm saying. This is why prosecutors. This is why I don't like them. Listen, y'all know me. Y'all already know me. If you don't know me, I'm like your boy Lee. If you don't know me, mucho gusto. I'm your boy Taviz. I shout out to the lead attorney, man. And praying for the lead attorney. Let me tell you something. I don't like prosecutors. I'm gonna be real with you. I don't. I've been through the system. I've been on probation before. Listen to me. I don't like them. All right. I'm serious. I don't. They are so lazy and so disjointed. It makes no sense to me. None. And let me tell you something. This lady here recused her own self. She recused her own self during lunch. She had a sourdough roast beef sandwich on sauerkraut with Russian dressing. It was like, I need to leave. This don't look right. This don't seem right. I'm telling you, man. Because this lady, Morrissey, the lead prosecutor, Attorney Morrissey, she was held Brady information on the Alec Baldwin case. That day, case was dismissed. And see, what you could do is if you don't get your personal vendetta in check, your personal mission could risk an actual case. That's exactly what happened in the Alec Baldwin case, because Attorney Morrissey had actual personal issues against Alec Baldwin. It went against her better judgment. And what she did was she took evidence. She took Brady evidence and placed it under a different case number, so that way it wouldn't be attached to the actual case number that's a part of the trial. And the defense got wind of what happened, and that's the reason why the case was dismissed. You got to be careful. You got to be careful, man. And that's the problem. A lot of these prosecutors have personal issues and vendettas, and it goes against their better judgment. Miss Love, especially Miss Love in the YSL trial. Yo, you got personal issue with Thug, with this person. Now, when Young Thug made the plea and he done, now all of a sudden you don't see Miss Love nowhere. You don't see Miss Love nowhere. You see Attorney Abadi, I call him Nobody. You see Attorney Nobody, and you see Attorney Hilton Hotel. Atkins is holding on to dear life. You know what I mean? Like, y'all still don't have a case even after, 6 of the defendants is gone? You still don't have no case. Then you had Detective Burrito Cheese go on the stand, lie, don't even know what she talking about. And she was the lead investigator at some point when it came to Woody and all that. You don't even know nothing. You can't tell the difference between a muzzle flash on a camera. You mean to tell me you don't know what a muzzle flash look like? A Bean Burrito? Detective Bean Burrito? You don't know what a muzzle flash look like on a camera? I'm sorry, I'm trying not to go off. You know I don't like prosecutors, dog. I can't stand them. They lazy as hell. Bona fide laziness. You have no idea. You are the one, just like your boy, just like the other dude, Squirrel Brain. You are the one that created this case, bro. You're the one that called it Operation Planters or whatever. You're the one called it this, and you have no physical evidence. All you got is a PowerPoint presentation with no actual evidence or anything that can link anything to anything. Yo, man, I'm telling you, it's weird, man. It's weird. So his reference to this case makes so much sense, because if you're not careful, prosecution of New York, if you're not careful, your personal agenda can get in the way of your actual desire to present a case where you're genuinely trying to make sure that society is better. You're not doing a good job right now by doing that. You're not. If you try to create a widespread sweep just to get at Diddy, you are the worst. That means you're not confident in your case. That means you're not confident in the case that you built up. So the defense is like, if you're not confident in your case that you built up, then I'm about to put a hurting on you. If I'm the defense right now, I feel good. I'm about to put a hurting on you then, because your sweep didn't work because the judge said destroy everything, and you try to use attorney-client privilege as well. Really? Oh, we about to get you. We about to get you. You don't have the goods. And now I see what that defense attorney was talking about. I don't think they had the goods. I don't either. Because the judge was like, nah, destroy that, dog. You can't bring that into the case. Nope. Anything you recover from Mr. Combs' sale, you can't bring it into the case. Whatever evidence you discovered before that, that's what you can use. But you can't use this. You got to destroy that, bro. Hey, man, this is something else, man. This is something else. All right, let's go ahead and continue. I'm sorry.
Withheld evidence in that case. The judge was so angry at this violation, she threw the whole case out. Anyway, from there, going back to Judge Subramanian, he turned to the prosecutors and he said, what's going on here? What happened? To respond to that, we had U.S. Attorney Christy Slavic, and she reportedly said that the 19 pages from Combs are about paying off a witness and finding dirt on victims. That's not privileged material. A little bit of a side primer here on that. So materials that are about ongoing or future crimes are really not protected by privilege. But she also emphasized that her team had no contact with the Bureau of Prisons or this investigator. They didn't even know that the investigator was going to be part of this sweep. She claims that their team only found out about these photographs after the sweep, not like they directed this to happen. And the judge apparently pressed her on how this investigator was monitoring Combs and his communications and asked if what had happened is a Fourth Amendment violation. Slavic said, yes, he provided us materials, but this investigator, he doesn't work for us. He works for the Bureau of Prisons. He's focused on safety. And if the defendant was in compliance with Bureau of Prison rules, which she says he was not. Judge Subramanian asked if there was any other material that was photographed here that they should be talking about. And Slavic indicated she didn't know what else the filter team may have. So you're seeing that separation between the prosecutors and this filter team. By the way, we don't know exactly who this filter team is, but again, this filter team. There was also this interesting reported exchange where Judge Subramanian asked Prosecutor Slavic along the lines of, is it standard procedure to photograph notebooks rather than take them so it can be known they were taken? To which AUSA Slavic apparently responded, I don't know. But Slavic reportedly doubled down, saying they don't have to tell the defense of an ongoing investigation into Sean Combs. And plus, we sent the materials to the filter team. If there was a privilege issue, they would have caught it. To which Subramanian reportedly asked if these were verbatim notes of Combs meeting with his lawyers. How would you know that unless you asked the defense? To which Slavic says they rely on the work of the filter team. They trust them. So Judge Subramanian expressed what seemed to be concern at this dividing line between a covert investigation and discovery. What needs to be turned over? What needs to be told to the other side? Since Sean Combs has already been charged. And Slavic reportedly responded, we have an ongoing grand jury investigation for conduct that Sean Combs has not currently been charged with. And there's no authority that we have to tell them what is going on. And this was another interesting back and forth between Judge Subramanian and Prosecutor Slavic, where he asked, is any of this material privileged? And Slavic seemed to respond that the notebook was labeled things to do, not attorney-client. And as to the claim that the papers were supposed to be in the folder marked legal, she said self-labeling is not enough, especially when they say this is about action items involving non-lawyers. There's no privilege here, like it's stuff about family members and birthdays and financial advisors and inspirational quotes that has nothing to do with the case at all. So Judge Subramanian also asked, would prosecutors be willing to turn over that surveillance video of the search to the defense? To which Slavic said they are opposed to doing that. And it was interesting because at one point, the judge apparently said to Mark Agnifilo how prosecutors kind of want to work with the defense to resolve this issue. And reportedly, Agnifilo didn't seem too keen on that. Reportedly said, we don't want to give them any insight. And he fired back too, Mark Agnifilo. He said all the legal pads here, they say legal. That the photos taken were from pads marked legal, that the government isn't being accurate about what happened here. That everything in these pads are things we discuss with our client, trial strategy, who we should speak to. Everything is about the racketeering case. That Sean Combs' to-do list, that is privilege. That this is the heart of attorney-client.
There it is. You see that? You see that? The whole thing is you retrieve something that had nothing to do with you. Shout out to Natasha. What up, though? What up, though? Good evening. Good evening. You retrieve something that had nothing to do with you. Nothing to do with you. All right. So you can't use any of this. That's where the defense is coming from. That's exactly where the defense is coming from. All right. So we're about to go ahead. We're not going to get too deep into this one because, again, we do have the hearing that happened today. There was a hearing that happened today about this whole thing. Okay. about the about the bail and things of that nature, and what the judge is considering. Because again, it's a new judge. I can't recall the judge's name at this moment. It's a new judge, and this new judge is saying, "Hey, based on recent events, I'm open. I got my ears are open to whatever." Right, my ears are open to the idea of Diddy going home or staying in jail. I don't know, but I'm hearing both sides of the case. I'm going to make a fair assessment. So, hold on one second, you guys. Give me 1 second. I want to see something here in the chat real quick. It says Linda Bonstrom. Thank you so much for coming. Is I'm saying it Bonstrom? Linda Bonstrom? Is that correct? Let me know, please. I don't want to butcher your name. It says, when is this sidebar from? It is it before the judge called them in court earlier today? Yes, this is from a day ago. I was just doing a lead up to what happened from yesterday to today. So this is what I was doing. Yep. So I'm about to go ahead and we're going to look at the actual video because Long Crown did go live and they actually discovered what happened today in court. All right. And so they're going to give us some information and we're going to go ahead and look at this information. All right. And we're going to go ahead and see what you all thinking. Look, I'm so curious about what you all think. Honestly, I'm going to be real with you because this right here is like super, super interesting to me. And it couldn't happen at a better time because it's so many nuances to this. And this is the thing. This is just like the YSL trial. Like I said before in previous lives that I've done, even if the entire defense team, even if everybody on the defense is guilty, if they legit did it, all right, even if they did legit do it allegedly, right, and they did it, the state did not present a good enough case to convict them of anything. See, this is the issue with the court system. And I know that this person stole your cookies. Okay, I saw them, and you know they did it, and I saw them do it. But if you take that situation and put it in court, it's so many nuances to it. By the time that this trial get done about who stole the cookies, the cookie monster gone and done took all the cookies. You know what I'm saying? Done took all the cookies, man. All the cookies. You know why? You know why? Because according to the law, he didn't do nothing. He was just hungry. He was just hungry. You see what I'm saying? You see I can be twisted? See, anything can listen to what they tell you. Listen to what they tell you when they read you your Miranda rights. Anything you say can be used against you in the court of law. So first of all, you need to know what the law is. Right? Anything that you say can be used against you in the court of law. If you don't know the law, you're going to get stumped. You're going to get stumped. You need to know the law. Black Law Dictionary. Go get it. Get it. Black Law Dictionary. Get it. You got to know. That's the reason why. That's the reason why they can say things when you in court and be like, you be like, it wasn't like that, blah, blah. They don't care. What is it when it comes to the law? Law. They use the law. Why do they use it? Because they know that the law is the soap to their dirt. The law is the alcohol to their streak, to that nastiness. You know, like you to that sword, to that bruise. That's what they use. They use the law to free themselves, but to lock you up. That's what they do. That's why I always say it's a game. They play the game. They know how to play the game. You know why? Because they created the game. So here it is. You take a, then they call it an alpha plea, where this is, you're not really guilty of anything. You just take this plea because it's in your best interest. How is it in my best interest if I'm admitting to something that I didn't do? It's not in your best interest. It's in their best interest. And they can use anything against you in the court of law, including that plea deal, and be like, yo, this person did this and pled to that, which is attached to you. And now you're in jail because of what happened in that plea deal, and blah, blah. It's the same thing. It happens all the time. It happens all the time. All the time, man. It's ridiculous. Look, Tracy said, agree. None of them are squeaky clean. None of them. None. So again, if you got defendant, are we going to sit here and honestly say that we think the YSL trial, that those dudes did absolutely nothing? Stop it. It's not about that. We know they did some hooligan stuff. Yeah, but can you prove that they did it? And what are you doing to try to prove it? Oh, Fonnie Willis is using her power, and attorney and Chief Deputy Director DA Love, she using her power, and it's a power trip because you don't have enough evidence. You don't have an intellectual case against these guys. This is why they was able to take blind pleas and get away with a 15-year probation. You accuse this man of conspiracy to do RICO. Your RICO statute is flawed, and that's the problem. This is the reason why people tripping. Like, how come this happened and that happened? I mean, we had all the evidence against Thug and all that kind of stuff. The reason why you can't go through anything, the reason why you can't prove anything, is because your RICO statute in Georgia is flawed. It's flawed. That's your problem. You have a flawed RICO statute. The one of the many factors of the flawed issue with the RICO statute in Georgia is the word conspiracy. You need to excommunicado the word conspiracy. A conspiracy doesn't mean anything. You can conspire to do anything. It doesn't mean you're guilty of something that somebody else is doing in a group setting. Like, your whole statute is flawed. Everything about you is flawed. Everything. Look. Tracy, thank you. Cases built on jail calls and social media posts. Really? Where's that? Repost? Where's that? It's called repost. Okay, that means that's not the original post. That literally means it's not the original. If you're redoing something, that's not the original. That's not the original time you did something. I want to redo my work. Okay, when did you first do it? 2 days ago. That's the original documentation. You're ridiculous. You're ridiculous. You got to be on point. And this is the reason why it's a difference between federal and state. Federal prosecution, they will take a decade and gather all the information, and then they'll wait another extra 2-3 years just to make sure that whatever they charge you with sticks. And they got actual evidence to back it up. Be careful. Be careful. This is a great point, Tracy. Great point. The case was built on jail calls and social media posts. Repost, where's that? What? Stop it, dog. Then they said, agree, these guys are not saints, but this is terrible. Try them one by one and prove it. Georgia RICO is insane. Exactly. You keep putting the word conspiracy in there. That's, first of all, flaw number one. Conspiracy means accomplice. Now, if you're an accomplice, that means you're actually you're actively participating in the crime. You can conspire to do something and never do it. You can literally conspire to do something and never do it. You can sit right now in your house and say, you know what? I think I'm gonna make me some baked chicken and da da da. And by the time 9 o'clock hit, all you eat is a bag of chips. You conspired. This how you conspired. You had the food thrown out, you had the meat thrown out, you had the prep, you had the seasons prepped, you had everything going, you had everything there, but you never executed. You never executed. You conspired, but you didn't do nothing. Conspiracy means nothing. It means absolutely nothing. And this is common sense, yo. Common sense. All right. I'm going to stop talking because I want to get through this, man. But yo, I appreciate y'all feedback on this, yo. Let's go ahead and get to what happened today in court. All right, let's go.
All right, welcome back, everybody, to our special live coverage of the Sean Diddy Combs case. I'm Jesse Weber. Thank you so much for joining us and also for being so patient with us as we came back. So for the past 2 hours, we have been covering for you in real time about what has been happening in that federal courtroom. It was the issue of bail, now being heard by Judge Arun Subramanian. This is the first time this judge has heard this issue after Sean Combs has been denied bail on 2 separate occasions. And it seems, based on the arguments put forward by the defense and also put by the prosecution, that he may be open to bail for Sean Combs. Now, clearly, as he said, this wouldn't be a situation where he'd be at home confinement in Miami, but it would have to be in New York. The defense, talking about how strict these conditions would be, even said they're more stringent than what you see at the MDC, the Metropolitan Detention Center, where Sean Combs is currently housed. You heard objections from the prosecution saying that he had been reaching out to witnesses and victims, that he had been engaging in obstruction, that he is a violent individual, that he is a danger to society. The judge heard both arguments and said he will make a decision early next week.
Early
the
next
question
week,
becomes, will Sean Combs be home for Thanksgiving? That
This is
could
a possibility.
be a realistic possibility here.
Exactly.
And he also said that he wants letters from both sides on Monday about what Sean Combs is allowed to communicate and what he is not allowed to communicate with. Because the big issue is he allowed to present social media posts about his family, his life? There was a back and forth about whether or not he can, talk about, reverse the narrative for himself, or whether or not that is trying to improperly influence a potential jury pool. So you heard a lot of back and forth. Big theme was whether or not he should be allowed out, considering Mike Jeffries, the former CEO of Abercrombie & Fitch, who was also charged with sex trafficking and arrested recently, he was let out on a $10 million bail package.
Ain't that crazy? Ain't that crazy? My man Amber Cornbread and Fish Sticks is out on a $10 million bond for the same thing, for $10 million. And Diddy like, you won't let me out for 50? Yes. Amber Cornbread and Fish Sticks was released on a $10 million bail package, dog. Diddy offering $50 million. He can't even get his back scratched. All right. I'm sorry. Let's go back, dog. My bad. I'm sorry. Amber Cornbread and fish sticks, man. This dude, man. Yo, Dan Sell in the middle say, what do you expect, Judge? Hey, you feel me? He got a little bit of that. He got a little bit of that in his blood. Look, destined to be said, I'm not fooling with you. What you mean? What you mean? What you mean? What I say? What I say? what I say, dog? Oh my goodness. Really? Diddy can't get out on 50. Michael Jeffries from Amber Rose and Einhorn and Finkel gets out on 10 million. 10. Come on, man. Like see, you see how things can get misconstrued when you start deep diving into it. You like, that don't even make sense, dog. Like, for real, don't do it. Do it make sense? If you go by comparison, because that's all court is about, is comparing. That's why they always say, give me case law. What does that mean? I want to compare something to something else. That's all case law means. Like, they've been trying to use these words to make them bigger than what they are. Stop it. If you can cite me a case law like Whitaker, then I will take a look at it. Yeah, you mean compare something to what's presently happening? It's the same thing, Judge. Mistrial. You don't want to give it a mistrial because you got political aspirations too. If you married, you only told your husband. You ain't told us. Well, I guess that little hug on the side was probably, with Fonnie. Yeah, she probably did. This man say fish sticks. Yes, I did. Why y'all want to take my microphone? Why y'all want to take my mic, dog? You know what I'm saying? Amber Cornbread and fish sticks is out on bail for 10 million right now. Diddy offering 5 times more than that, and they're like, hell no. Your black ass staying in jail, dog. That's a shame, dude. Again, anything can be used against you in the court of law, dog. Anything can be used. Bias, their personal opinion, anything. If you say anything, it can be used against you. I want you to say something crazy so I could just use my bias against you anyway. That's all it is. Let's go.
Was also charged with sex trafficking and arrested recently. He was let out on a $10 million bail package. Sean Combs was proposing a $50 million bail package, private 24/7 security. At least 3 security guard members would be watching him. No internet use, no phone use, limited to his conversations with his attorneys, only a limited amount of visitors. So the judge is taking all of this under advisement, which seems to be a wise decision. And by all counts, we'll have a decision about Sean Combs' bail next week. Now, I want to bring in Elizabeth Milner from Law and Crime, our very own. She was in that courtroom for the hearing. She's outside of that federal courthouse right now. Elizabeth, good to see you. What did you see? What were your observations inside there?
Yeah, Jesse, a lot of interest in today's hearing for sure, especially with the whole debate on whether or not Sean Diddy Combs could actually go home or at least be at home in time for Thanksgiving. I will say that I arrived to the courthouse around like 12:15 today. Not a lot of people out. So I thought we actually came here a lot early. So when I went inside the courthouse, I was actually surprised to see the amount of reporters that were already in line waiting to go inside that hearing. Now, I got inside the courthouse probably about 45 minutes before the hearing started, and probably at least 15 other journalists and lawyers were ahead of me in the line. So I was actually very lucky to get a seat today. Now, they actually moved the courtroom to a different location than it was on Tuesday's hearing. Again, that was an emergency hearing, but for this scheduled hearing that's been on the calendar for about a few weeks now, they had it actually at the top floor. So a lot more people were able to get inside that courtroom. And let me tell you, a lot of people were inside that courtroom in that hearing, even members of the public as well too. I feel like I saw some teenagers kind of wanting to know as well too what was going on inside that hearing, because I think they also probably wanted to get a glimpse of Diddy as well too. But let me just kind of paint a picture to our viewers about what you kind of see when you walk inside that federal courtroom. So of course, when you first walk in, you're going to see the gallery. You're going to have a left-hand side or right-hand side. The left-hand side is for some of the defense attorneys as well as members of Combs' family, other public interests. And on the other side, it's going to be some extra attorneys from the government side, as well as all of the reporters. And we were really kind of body to body inside that courtroom. Then when you kind of go outside of the gallery, then you have the defense table, then you have the prosecution's table, and then you have the judge obviously on the bench. So it's a little different from how when we normally cover trials, you know, you have the defense on one side, you have the prosecution on another side. So a lot of us in the reporter side, we were kind of anxious to see if Diddy's kids were going to be at the hearing today. And they did. They arrived. They were in unison. They all came in holding hands together too. And Sean Combs's mother, Janice, was also in that courtroom too. But another person who I found particularly interesting to be inside that courtroom was LaWanda Lane. Now, she is the best friend of Kim Porter. And as we have been reporting on, she has been taking care of Sean Combs's twin daughters, Delilah and Jessie, while Combs has been locked up inside that federal detention center. But whenever they came in, it was kind of different from when all of the family had to come in during that October hearing and that it went silent. That wasn't necessarily the case. A lot of people were kind of whispering and talking a little bit back and forth and inside the gallery. Then they all came in. Again, they were all holding hands. They all sat down beside each other. And then, of course, court proceeded and everything like that. I was expecting some moments of like maybe some tearing up because remember, and I'm sure you've already told our viewers this, when they were kind of discussing the freak offs, the assault video that was released by CNN earlier this year, as well as just some of Diddy's conduct or alleged conduct, I should say. You know, I can imagine just being 17 years old. I'm specifically talking about Jessie and Delilah Combs because they are still underage here, that it can be hard to listen to your father's alleged conduct and just hearing just kind of the inner details of what all is going on. Obviously, it's been making the news everywhere. It's not really a secret, but at the same time, to be inside a courtroom for 2 hours and kind of listening to your father's conduct, I can imagine to be hard. But from my side and from what I saw, I didn't see much of an emotional reaction or anything like that as far as it coming from Diddy's children. And so they pretty much kind of stayed forward, kind of kept their eyes on what the judge was saying, what the defense was saying, obviously what the government was saying when they were making their arguments. So I didn't see any type of actual emotion whenever they were making their arguments. But again, I can only imagine what may have been going on in their head as well too. But it's also significant that they were in the courtroom because as I mentioned on Tuesday, they weren't here on Tuesday. And it was probably likely because it was an emergency hearing. I'm sure flying all the way out from Los Angeles or possibly Miami can be a lot to do in the matter of just getting 24 or 12-hour notice. And
Oh yeah, how
so, you know, it
stressful that
wasn't
is.
very surprising that they were all inside the courtroom. But again, it's significant too because the government alleges that they are all doing this as kind of like a PR stunt and kind of in a way to sway the jury into making them seem like a unified family. I mean, we've seen this before in trials, and I want to kind of make a clear distinction on the comparison I'm about to make here. I mean, we've seen this before in trials, and I'm talking specifically about the Alec Murdaugh trial, where, you know, Alec Murdaugh's family came inside that courtroom as well too. So it wasn't very surprising that he had his family there to kind of back him up. But I will say, just like on Tuesday, whenever Diddy did come into the courtroom and how he beamed and how he looked at every single person in the gallery, it wasn't like that this time. So when he came inside, it was still in that khaki jumpsuit. He again looks kind of grayish, a little bit like that, a little thin, but at the same time, you know, being in jail or a federal detention center for the past 2 months, obviously that's going to kind of wear and tear on anybody, including somebody like Sean Diddy Combs. But as soon as he came inside that courtroom today, he beamed up immediately, looking straight at his family, and that was pretty much the only people he kept eye contact with outside of his attorneys. So he looked immediately at his family. He blew kisses to them all, kind of like a little like I love you mouthing of the words type of thing. And even before the judge got on the bench, he turned to them once again too to kind of just mouth a little like, you know, like it felt like he was just happy to see them, I should say. And then of course when he sat before he sat at the defense table, he hugged every single one of his attorneys. But again, like I said Tuesday, you know, Diddy knows that a lot of eyes are on him at this time. So there's not going to be a moment where we don't see what we expect to see of Sean Diddy Combs, if that makes sense. We're going to see somebody who's not going to appear defeated. We're going to see somebody who is going to appear with smiles. So that way, I think he's also kind of signaling to the world that he's okay in a way, but at the same time, maybe reassuring.
All right, so what is she doing? Yeah, Deja, I appreciate you. What is this young lady doing right now? Elizabeth Milner. What is she doing right now? Can somebody tell me in the chat what is she the way she's reporting this and what she's reporting? What is she doing? What is she doing in this report? What is she doing in this report? This is very interesting. This is a very interesting thing, man. What is she doing in this report? She's definitely dissecting it for sure, right? We understand that. But what is she dissecting in particular at this point? And for the majority of this report, she's been dissecting one particular thing. One specific thing she's reporting. All right. KP said land foundation. All right. Okay. Destiny B said making out to be the sweet family man. Okay. Yeah. She's tapping into some stuff. Oh, my ass can't be deceived. Okay, come on, man. That's a different comment. Listen, so I'm gonna include both of these. His family, yes, she's talking about the family, but what she's including is his psyche. She's given a psychological breakdown as well. Now, why is that important? That's important because according to, listen to me carefully, according to the behavior of Sean Diddy Combs, he is a serial violator. Tell me I'm wrong, please. He's according to his pattern of behavior and people who have witnessed his behavior, he is a serial violator. Now, take the psychological standpoint of the word serial. Use serial killer. And what is it? Most of the time, a serial killer, they have a specific victim that they go towards, like Ted Bundy, blonde hair, young, in college, single parent. There's always a pattern there. Okay, she's tapping into his psychological because she wants you to understand not just the fact that he's a family man, but at the same time of the fact that what his family is responding to when it comes to his psychological standpoint. And she says that Diddy's coming in strong. He coming in like this, like that. That's a psychological point. That's a psychological point. All right. That's a psychological point. Can I cook a little bit? Can I stir up some coffee a little bit, right? So when it comes to someone who is serial, they have pattern behaviors. And if I'm a prosecutor, I would go after the pattern. I wouldn't necessarily go after all the victims. I would go after specific victims with a specific pattern because I would tend to lean towards the fact that this man is a serial violator of men and women. So I'm going to create a case towards the behavior of this guy to show that he should not be in society. If I'm a prosecutor, I'm not just trying to gather a bunch of victims. See, Tony Busby is a slime type of attorney. Tony Busby is an attorney that looks at opportunity. See, he's taking all these alleged victims and he's creating lawsuits and stuff like that, and he's just doing whatever. He's not looking at the violator. The violator has a specific thing that he does. The violator has a specific group of people that he violates. If you look at Dahmer, if you look at John Wayne Gacy, if you look at Eric Little, if you look at Ted Bundy, if you look at these types, Eric Little is a black man too, by the way. He is considered the most serial man of all times. if you look at the pattern of behavior, you will see that they have a specific appetite. See, this is a mind hunter game. See, Tony Busby is just looking for an opportunity to settle some cases. No, man, you're not trying to put away the violator. See, the attorney, see, my man who brought these charges, the attorney general, he is trying to put away the violator. But if you're going to try to do that, you got to do it by pattern of behavior. If you go by behavior, then you will understand the psyche. And this is the reason why this young lady, Elizabeth Milner, and I appreciate her for doing this. She's telling us the psyche of his kids, the psyche of him, and how they're responding to him in the courtroom. She's paying attention to detail. She's a technical reasoning learner. And a person who, and I learned this in college, a person who learned a technical reasoning, a learner, when a person who learns from technical reasoning, they don't like to be around a lot of people. They pay attention to detail, and they're very specific about what they're studying. And on top of that, they have sequential memory. They can understand things in sequence. So that means order. That means they're very structured. They like things a certain way. All that kind of stuff is psychological. Y'all better subscribe to the channel. Y'all better subscribe to the channel. I'm in my bag tonight. Y'all better subscribe to the channel. You gotta have pattern of behavior. And that's the thing that the state prosecutors missed in the YSL trial. What pattern of behavior was there? You're just looking at wiretaps. Wiretaps mean nothing. What pattern of behavior? Does this person have a pattern of behavior that goes with the charge that you charge them? Because if they don't, you will never be able to prove it. That's the reason why prosecutors are lazy. That's why I don't like them. That's why I don't like them. They're lazy. That's lazy. You got to go after behavior, psychological connection. You got to go after what they normally do. See, this is the reason why in the movie American Gangster, they was able to get Frank Lucas, because he take his mama to church every Sunday because he's a man of routine. Once they learned his routine, they was able to gather all of the evidence needed to convict him. But he cooperated and told the prosecution and the state, these are your dirty cops right here. See, they pinned him in a corner. They pinned him in the corner. And see, most prosecutors don't do that. They don't. I hope I said something that opened up the floodgate real quick. We gonna keep playing this real quick. Let's go until the end.
His family, especially his daughters, who again,
Let's
the
go
twins,
back. Let's
Jesse
go
and
back
Delilah,
just a
just
little
17.
bit. I'm
Chance
sorry.
just turned 18, but
Let's go back just a little
I
bit.
mean, we've seen this before in trials, and I'm talking specifically about the Alec Murdaugh trial, where, you know, Alec Murdaugh's family came inside that courtroom as well, too. So it wasn't very surprising that he had his family there to kind of back him up. But I will say, just like on Tuesday, whenever Diddy did come into the courtroom and how he beamed and how he looked at every single person in the gallery, it wasn't like that this time. So when he came inside, it was still in that khaki jumpsuit. He, again, looks kind of grayish, a little bit like that, a little thin, but at the same time, you know, being in jail or
she detail oriented. She is given every detail possible. She is painting the picture perfectly. I like this reporter right here.
or a federal detention center for the past 2 months. Obviously, that's going to kind of wear and tear on anybody, including somebody like Sean Diddy Combs. But as soon as he came inside that courtroom today, he beamed up immediately, looking straight at his family. And that was pretty much the only people he kept eye contact with outside of his attorneys. So he looked immediately at his family. He blew kisses to them all, kind of like a little like, I love you, mouthing of the words type of thing. And even before the judge got on the bench, he turned to them once again, too, to kind of just mouth a little like, Like it felt like
Evidence?
he was just happy to see them, I should
Exactly.
say. And then, of course, when he sat before he sat at the defense table, he hugged every single one of his attorneys. But again, like I said Tuesday, Diddy knows that a lot of eyes are on him at this time. So there's not going to be a moment where we don't see what we expect to see of Sean Diddy Combs, if that makes sense. We're going to see somebody who's not going to appear defeated. We're going to see somebody who is going to appear with smiles. So that way, I think he's also kind of signaling to the world that he's okay in a way, but at the same time, maybe reassuring his family, especially his daughters, who, again, the twins, Jesse and Delia, are just 17. Chance just turned 18. But with the exception of his youngest daughter, who is 2-year-old baby Love, who is probably with her mom over in California, I would assume, but I just don't want to speculate there. But of course, when there wasn't a decision made, everyone was kind of ushered and rushed out of the courtroom. So I didn't get that last glance of maybe a last blown kiss to his family or to his mother or anything like that. But at the same time, excuse me, that's pretty much what we can expect from Sean Combs.
Let me ask you this, Elizabeth, and that was a great recap of what you're our eyes and ears. We don't have cameras in that courtroom. Unfortunately, we're not going to have cameras in that courtroom. So you are our best eyes and ears about what is happening there. I broke down the legal arguments and what was said between the prosecution and the defense and Judge Subramanian. From Judge Subramanian, though, his demeanor, the way he was asking these questions to the prosecution, did it seem to you like he was skeptical of the prosecution's arguments? Did it seem?
You see how he asking the questions? He's even asking the questions to get her surmise on the actual psychological personality, character, the non-tangibles of everything. Like the way he asked the questions. Did it seem to you? These are all speculative questions. The way he says it, you see what I'm saying? So all of that is about emotion. You see what I'm saying? And so when a person says to you, it's not what you say, it's the way you say it. See, that means you're dealing with a person who only identifies with emotional identification. They don't care about facts. They just want to be talked nice to. I want you to talk to me nicely, and then I'll listen to you. But you can tell me all day that door says exit, but if you say it abruptly, I won't listen to you because I'm emotionally attached to the word exit. The way I identify with the word exit, it has to be said to me softly. It has to be said to me nicely. That is the difference. That's the difference. So you have to know, especially if you with somebody that's like that, you have to know how to navigate that person to be effective. Because if you don't, and especially if you don't care about the person, you're just gonna throw them away. You don't even care. You'll break up, whatever. It don't even matter. But if you really care about this person, you can be like, no, what way? How can I say this? You ever did that? You be like, okay, how can I say this? Because you're trying not to let the message get lost. And this is the reason why my man is asking her, like, okay, the way the judge did, what it seems like everything is about the psyche. I like this. I actually like this. I'm sorry. I just have to say it. I got to be real. I like it. I like this. Okay. All right. Let me go back a little bit. All right. If we go get some meat
demeanor, the way he was asking these questions to the prosecution.
Did you hear that?
Did it seem to you like he was skeptical of the prosecution's arguments? Did it seem like he was pushing them a little bit more? The reason we're asking is, does he seem open to Sean Combs getting bail? I know he's reserved judgment, but there's one thing to report on what he was said. There's another thing, you got a glimpse of the way he was asking the questions. What's your take on that?
I think it kind of stems back to, with this case, you really have to dot your I's and cross your T's. I think he was asking both sides very important questions. When he was specifically talking to the government, I think he was trying to also make it clear, it did feel like he was open to it. To answer your question, it did feel that way. I was actually kind of surprised by that aspect as well, too, because, going in, and I shouldn't have made that assumption in the first place. I was like, no way could this ever happen. But at the end of these arguments, I'm like, maybe it's possible that this could actually happen. I think it was kind of interesting with that moment where, Mark Agnifilo mentioned his home in Miami, and Judge Submaranian was like, oh, okay, absolutely not. And then they suggested that apartment on the Upper East Side. But as far as the government's kind of arguments that they were making, it seemed like the judge really just kind of wanted to press to make sure that they were crossing all their T's and dotting all of their I's. And I kind of have to give him credit a little bit here, because I think sometimes in the court cases that we do cover, we see that a judge can side with one particular side as opposed to the other. But I feel like for both sides, he was kind of playing it fair on both ends, kind of making sure that he was that both sides were explaining everything that he needed to know before he makes his final decision next week.
See, before he makes his final decision next week. See, again, that you see what I'm saying? You see what I'm saying? So that's what I'm talking about. She even said about the judge, even the judge looks like he's unbiased. He's trying to be fair. And that is what we're talking about here. There is a possibility. There is, what up, though, Cat Now Wins? What up, though? There is a possibility. Okay, there's a possibility that there are some people who are leaning towards Diddy, and they're not getting caught up in the 120 alleged victims from Tony Busby and all this other stuff. So this is very, very interesting how she is also reporting the psychological. The psychological, okay? She's not just reporting like, okay, they said this said that, the evidential part. No, she's tapping into the psychological part of it all. How did Diddy look? What state of mind was Diddy in? See, all of that. See, again, when we talk about when we talk about people who have a pattern of behavior, you have to tap into the psychological. Okay. Again, what did we say earlier? We said that Ted Bundy, John Wayne Gacy, Eric Little, all these other serial criminals. What was it about them in particular? They had specific women or men that they, like Dahmer, that they would be connected to. They had routines. They had behavior. And if you could tap into the behavior, then it's possible that it can leave a keyhole to the evidence. Now you can dive deeper. But see, that means you have to work at what it is that you're doing. And a lot of prosecutors don't. I mean, sadly to say, but they don't. You know what I'm saying? So what we're about to do right now is go ahead. I'm going to take a brief moment of a commercial, right? Like a minute and a half. I'll be right back. And then we're going to get into the meat and potatoes. Let's go.
She want me coming to France, she better cash for it. She wanna explore my pants, I say clash for it. Old enough to be grams, the bank balance on. So she like to conk in Lacan, she holds back on it. I ain't about economy class, I lean back for it. Right about high enough, I'm low battery. Then the credit card comes up, and I'll be handing it out. Life for luxury, mature women touching me. Can't lie, say I don't know how the tissue feels. Few folds, I'm sure that's where the treasure is. She impressed by my high school in the registry. She gon' ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bounce on it. She gon' ba-bum, ba-bum, ba-bounce on it. So put the glory in the back.
Yes, y'all. Yes, y'all. And you don't stop. Freak, y'all. And you don't. Your boy got it. Hey, yo. The Mailroom Network is another channel that I do executive produce. Season 4 of our channel is coming up next year. All right. We're going to give details and things of that nature. I think somebody just posted it in the chat. Let me see. Chill. Thank you. I appreciate you, baby. Putting it in the chat that you can subscribe to the Mailroom Network ahead of time, and you can get notified that of what we got going on for next year coming up. We're looking at a certain date early in the beginning of next year, so be on the lookout for that. We got some promo stuff we're gonna do, and I just want to be able to promote me and my guys, man. Those are my brothers, man. My boy Rollo, my boy JB. We call him JB the Gent. These guys are my brothers, man. These some good brothers. I trust them with all my heart. I'm telling you, these guys, I've been rocking with them I've been knowing Rollo for over 12 years now, almost 15. And I've been knowing my man JB over 2 decades. All right. Like I got this is my family. You know what I'm saying? So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, man. The link is in the chat. And we're gonna you can go ahead and just be notified that we're about to start up season 4. And it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be so dope. We talk about relationships, we talk about all kinds of stuff, but we got some other stuff we got some things we're gonna be rejuvenating, you know what I'm saying? And I'm telling you, it's gonna be dope. It's gonna be so dope. We're still sticking with the relationship topic because it's very important. However, it's gonna be so dope how we transition into some stuff. All right. So if you go to the channel, you can see season 1. You can see where we everything is up on the channel. Like when we first started, how terrible we were. You know what I'm saying? And then the next season happened and it was better. And then the next season happened, it was better. You know what I'm saying? I made some changes, you know what I'm saying? Even with my approach of things, my mindset, things of that nature. I was being very, very authentic in everything that I said. And then there were times where I grew up into some things. You know what I'm saying? I started being a little bit more calm, a little bit more like all that kind of stuff. Like you'll see all type of facets of the channel. And so I'm gonna leave everything the way it is. You can leave your opinion and your observation the way you want. That's fine with me. You know what I'm saying? But we have grown as a channel, as men, and we are definitely presenting that to the world. So, yo, we definitely gonna do this. Yo, but before, but you know, I appreciate everybody looking at the channel, looking at the commercial real quick. I need to take it. I had to take a break. All right. We about to go ahead and get into this. What are we doing? What is we doing right now here? All right. We're going to tap into Miss we're about to get to the meat and potatoes now of this whole live. We about to get into Miss Ariel Mitchell-Kidd. Actually, Ariel Mitchell-Kidd. She is the attorney of Courtney Burgess. All right. I thank you all for subscribing to the channel. I definitely appreciate it. Thank you so much. Again, if you want to, I'm gonna be honest with you. Season 3 was like the best season we had. Again, we grew up. Season 2 was good too. Season two of Coffee, a Conversation, and season 3 of the Mailroom Show is like the best to me, right, in my opinion. And then we have Mailroom Reacts. We have everything. We got it organized in a certain way. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, Survivor Speaks. What up, though? Subscribe. I appreciate you. This is my pleasure. I appreciate you. Thank you. Yo, y'all so sweet, man. Like, for real. And listen, you know, we are men. So hang on in there with us, man. Because one thing we're not going to do is lie to you. That's one thing I'm not going to do is lie to you. You've already lied to yourself long enough. I don't want to add to it. I don't want to add to it. All right. I've lied to myself long enough at certain points in my life. I don't want to add to it. You feel me? So I definitely appreciate you all subscribing to the channel. Again, I want you to subscribe now because we are definitely going to be like getting started next season. All right. Next season is season 4. We got a treat for you guys, man. We do. We have a treat for you guys. Seriously, man. So straddle up. Let's go. Ride with your boys. I'm telling you, you won't be disappointed. I promise you won't. If you are disappointed, you can email me directly and let me know, like, hey, man, you know, the channel was cool, but I ain't really feeling like that. That's fine. That's fine. You can still stay right here because we always do what we do right here. You know what I'm saying? But I'm just like, it's cool. I get it because I'm telling you, we have our perspectives and we be as fair as possible with all the topics that we have, and it's important to be fair, when it comes to certain things, so we try to do that. Anyway, so Ann said found you right on time. I'm telling you, listen, I even see, if y'all notice, I even mention things on this channel and compare it to certain things, like when something happens and I compare it to a relationship. I'm doing that metaphorically because we all can relate to relationships. All of us been in a relationship that we wasn't supposed to be in. And all of us, if we're being honest, most of us, I'm gonna say most, I ain't gonna say all, because you gotta be careful with words nowadays. Most of us knew that we should have never did it. Never. We knew it, but we wanted what we wanted out of it, okay? And there was some type of aspiration that should have never been there in the first place. I'm telling you, if we being honest with ourselves, man. Now, there are times where the other person just totally just be like, whoo, man, they was on some other stuff. But it's hard to judge that when you're not healed yourself, when you're not complete yourself. It's hard to judge that. So it's always good to be able to unpack things first. Before you deep dive and be on the deep end with things, unpack it first and see how that goes. All right, let's go. Why I got this up right now. First of all, this is the Instagram page of Miss Ariel Mitchell-Kidd, who is the lawyer of Courtney Burgess. Now, I just want to, she got her thing going on. This is what we got going on. Look. Let me mute that. I don't know what kind of music. Look. I mean, Okay, Ariel. You know what I'm saying? Hold on. This your lawyer. Listen to me. This your lawyer. All right? This your lawyer. Oh no, I gotta mute that for copyrights. Look at that. I mean, this your lawyer. This your lawyer right here. Huh? Ladies. Ladies. Everybody put hey Tay Biz in the chat. Hey. Put hey Tay Biz in the chat. Just put hey. Ladies. You're in a situation where you need a lawyer. Ladies, are you hiring her? Put a 1 in the chat for yes and a 2 in the chat for no. Are you hiring her? Like, seriously, you're in a situation. It don't even matter what it is. You was pulled over. You was pulled over and accused wrongly on a routine traffic stop. Okay, and all of us and the lawyer that you need. She come by like, hey, I got you, and then you gonna hurt, and you see this, you gonna hire her, huh? You gonna hire her? Huh? Let's see what else she got going on. Oh, okay, look. Okay, I see what. Okay. So you trying to be all that you can be in the army of Hollywood people. And look, Tiffany Haddish, okay, yeah, but the exact same outfit. Okay, sure. All right, so this is what we talking about. We talking about who are we talking about? We talking about Courtney Burgess' lawyer, Ariel Mitchell. Okay, this is what we talking about. Okay, this is what we talking about, dog. This is the lawyer of Courtney Burgess. All right. Now I can't play the music in the background because it's Biggie, but this is your lawyer. This is the lawyer that you acquired, Courtney. Bruh, really? I'm a man, bro. I'm 100% man. I talk man. I talk manwich, like man language. I talk man language. I talk manguage, right? Like, dude, I'm 100% dude, bro. There is nowhere in the world I'm trusting a woman who's a lawyer like this. I'm not doing it. I'm not trusting that. You out here doing it. You out here doing a little dance, making a little love, and getting down tonight openly. I ain't trusting Ariel, bruh. Come on, man. I can't. She can't represent me, ladies. Hold on, let me go to the chat real quick because it was when I asked the question. Natasha started off like, I can't stand her. And I cannot stand her. And then Miss Tutu said, hey, it's like, hey, David, the only fan lawyer, okay? Tracy said, nope, she can't represent me. And said, hey, Miss Parker. Like, Chill said, two. Now, she is towing the live with her nonsense. Two. That's right. Two. Tasha said never. Linda said, nope. Hold up. Wait. If you think we too soft, we don't play. Oh, we get lawyers every day. No. She a groovy lawyer. Heck no, dude. Okay. I might hire her if I'm trying to extort a celebrity. Hello. Oh, and send me some information. We might have to drop a video about this. We may have to sometimes you have to investigate. You can't just go into a fight without investigating your opponent. You know what I'm saying? You can't just go into you ain't gonna study no film. Really? You're gonna get beat up. You gonna get beat up. Okay. Miss Two T's is immature. She said the hair. It's the hair, dog. Listen. All right, look. We about to get into this, man. This is the meat and potatoes of the whole live. We about to get into this. This is where, look, the beginning part of the live was just, the interview between her and Sean Atwood. Shout out to Sean Atwood and his channel. And Ron, Project Ron, and Lionel Nation. But I cut fast through all that. I wanted to get to the part where it was her, Jaguar Wright, and Courtney Burgess on the same. I have not seen this. Listen to me. We are all about to react to this live together. I do this on purpose, okay? I don't want to know what they're saying. I don't want you to know what they're saying. We all gonna react to this live, and I'm telling you right now, I don't even know what to expect, dog. I don't. I have no clue what to expect, but I'm telling you, we're about to do this. All right, we're about to do this. Let's go. Let's get into it. This is Courtney Burgess' lawyer. She's on the Sean Atwood show on YouTube. Subscribe to his channel. I think he's about to hit 1 million in a minute. And listen to me. This is about to be, I don't even know what this is about to be, honestly, man. I'm gonna actually drop myself right here, down here. And we just gonna watch this together, all right? And whatever crazy come out of anybody's mouth, we definitely about to dissect it, all right? Let's get into this. Let's go.
I was about to say, none of us act like this in the courtroom. No lawyer.
Don't spoil the illusion. Don't spoil the illusion, either of you. I'm not listening to either. You don't spoil the illusion. This is how he is in court. This is why I would want him as my lawyer.
Let me ask this, Ariel. What did you think of Diddy's lawyer at first, or any lawyer who comes out right off the bat and says the allegations of these people are liars? It's like, shut up.
What kills me is the thing that kills me is how dare you come and call us liars and then get on national TV and lie about getting baby oil at Costco. It seems like a lot of displacement energy. Like you're the liar, so you're gonna point the finger and call somebody else a liar. And Philo is on my shit list because he found that dumbass motion.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. Ray J. Wow. We just went right into it, didn't we?
Call somebody else a liar. And Philo is on my shit list because he found that dumbass motion talking about trying to get a gag order on me. Nah, you couldn't gag me.
I can see this.
This is your lawyer, ladies. This gentlemen, skip the ladies, not the lady, not skip you like that. I'm just saying, gentlemen, this is the man. This is Courtney Burgess hired this lady to be his lawyer, to represent him. Okay, yo, man. This is Courtney Burgess's lawyer. This is the man who claimed to have 11 flash drives, who he claims to have the original manuscript of Kim Porter's book, that he apologized when the first book came out and had her face on it. Then he republished the book under Jamal Millwood, which is now come to find out was a British white dude or some type of person outside of being black. Okay, using Jamal. I just find that interesting. It's not a race thing. It's just I just find it interesting that a person who doesn't come from a Jamal community has a Jamal name. I just find that very interesting. Then he apologized about this. He goes on this channel. Has a whole interview about Snoop Dogg and all that kinds of, and he gets subpoenaed to go before the grand jury so that way they can create an indictment against Diddy. He is the man who hired this attorney. Okay, I don't exactly. Jamal is not real. It's an imaginary writer. It's some dude that's not even who he say he is. And they giving out the website like jamalmillwood.com, whatever. You can get the book there on the website. And again, Jaguar Wright confronted Courtney because she believes that he wrote it, but really what he's saying is, I didn't write anything. All I did was submit the manuscript over to the publisher and they published the book. I published the book. I didn't write anything. You see how the words can get a little twisted, right? Okay. This is what's going on. This is his lawyer. Her? Hey. You see that right there? Right there. All over there. Her. That's his lawyer. He hired her on purpose. I don't think he was drunk. I don't think he was high. I think he literally hired her on purpose. Okay, let's go. Let's get into this.
Like that really made me mad. Like I wrote a response the day I was gonna file the response. The judge had already rendered his verdict, and I was sure about to rip into his ass. So he's lucky that never saw the light of day. Otherwise, that would have been the news for the next 2 weeks.
But I could imagine we go back into Brooklyn detention.
Has she been drinking? Hold on. I've been drinking. I don't see no type of drinking out here. That's just raw. That's just original attitude. Okay. All right. Let's go.
There's Diddy sitting on a metal pot, wearing some kind of loose clothing, and he turns to his counselor and says, "Costco baby oil. What the fuck were you thinking?"
First of all, there isn't even any Costco in the city of Miami. You have to go to like Hialeah to get to a Costco. It's not even any Costco's near him, let alone anybody with a Costco membership, especially me with an executive membership, knows they don't even sell baby oil there.
But then again, remember, not to become too dark, do you know that the baby oil was not allegedly used for for massage purposes. I will leave it at that. It's a wonderful medium.
Oh,
of
you
delivery.
you must not have read my lawsuit in the Northern District of California.
I can't say I have, but I'll wait till it comes to the drive-in. What was
No,
it?
I was about to say I filed it in October. I know the oil was not being used for not even lubrication purposes. It was being
That's what I'm saying.
for a nefarious purpose. Yes.
It's a medium.
Wow.
It is a medium. It is a suspension.
Whoa. Oh, you know. Oh, you know what the baby oil was. You know. Okay. Wow.
That allows us, and Ron knows all about that. In fact, there's a straight for this, which you know all about that. Ron, by the way,
when I heard it was 1,000 bottles line, I was like, amateur. Do you know what I'm saying?
I know.
Right?
Ron one time was talking about this whole notion about squatting over a goldfish bowl with brine shrimp paste. But I don't want to go into that right now.
Talking about it. You can sign up to my elite content on another website, which we'll talk about later.
But here's the thing that Ariel has to do. The first rule is do no harm. You are trying to not make Diddy bigger a target as possible, and he's coming out there just basically.
Who do we have here? We got Jaguar Wright, ladies and gentlemen. We got Jaguar Wright, ladies and gentlemen, right here, right smack dab in the middle of this interview is 50. It's not even a whole hour in yet. Okay. She said, "Oh boy, hey, if you don't know who I am, in the words of the lead attorney, mucho gusto. I'm your boy, Tay Biz. Shout out to the lead attorney because I love the lead, man. I'm praying for the lead's health. Listen to me. It's not even a whole hour in, and she has already deployed herself, okay, into this conversation. Everybody put TLA in the chat. Put TLA in the chat. He ain't gonna know who I am. I'm a small fish in a big pond. That's all. But it's okay. I've been on his channel plenty of times. I actually showcased myself on his channel, on my channel, and so you can see that if you go into my channel, you can see that deep down in the archives. But I appreciate the lead. I love the lead, man. I think he's a giant in the industry that we're in. And yeah, I appreciate him, man, for real. KP said he know you, bro. Like, oh, okay. Hey, if he do, that's what's up. That is what's up, man. Like I said, I've been on his channel a few times. He told me about my posture. You know, that right on the live. I was like, dang, Lee, let me sit up there, Lee. Dang, dog. But he has that authoritative respect, like authoritative respect. And so I'm a man, so I can respect another man that respect himself, and that can respect another man. So shout out to the lead attorney, man. So that's why I said mucho gusto. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, Jaguar is right here in the smack dab in this interview, man. Smack dab in the interview, man. KP said, remember he was telling you about how to put your camera in positive. Exactly. Yeah. He said, yeah, I was on that live. Exactly, bro. As you can see, ever since he said it, I've been on, right? I've kept it the way it need to be. All right. I don't want to get too far into that, but that is what's up. That is what's up. Look at the love for TLA. Look at the love for TLA, man. Look at the love for TLA. Look at it. This is what's up. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love for him. Jaguar Wright is in the building, man. Let's get into this, man. This is about to be, oh my God. I don't even know what is this going to be? What is your, here you go, I love Lee. There you go. What is your oh, I didn't know that, KP. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm over here random. I didn't know that you found me through his page. That's what's up. Between him and KNW, I was like, it is about to be. Let's go. Absolutely, let's go. Hey man, we working, bro. We working. Listen, I don't know what's about to happen with this with this interview. Again, I've not seen this part of the interview at all. I saw the beginning part. I'm like, okay, they were just giving like regular talk. It was nothing that was so interesting like that. Honestly, trust me. I'm saving y'all some time. All right. But this right here, I purposefully did not continue. I'm like, oh, I don't even want to know what's about to happen. I want to be live with my people and we go through this together. Because, man, this is going. Listen, look. Ann said this is going to be. Listen to me. A distraction. Let me tell you something. Jaguar Wright knows how to disturb. She know how to disturb. And let me be fair here. It may not be malicious either. You know, there is a cause that she is proclaiming to have and has been executing for a long time, according to her. So I can't take that away from her. You know what I'm saying? However, she comes to distract. We know that for a fact. Okay. We know that to be fact. All right. So let's see how this goes. Let's see how this goes. Is Kat Not Williams in the building? I don't know. Is she still here? She probably dropped off. I'm not sure. But we appreciate you too, Kat. Let's go. Let's get into this, man. I did not watch this on purpose. So let's get into this. All right. I'm gonna go to the side. I'm gonna go to the side. Let's handle this. So between look at the faces already. Look at the faces already, dog. Look at her face. And look at her face. They both ready to attack. And look at these guys. They're like, oh, yeah, we're ready to watch. We're ready to watch. We're ready to watch, mate. Yes, mate. We're ready to watch. Okay. Absolutely. Let's go.
You say, come on.
Let me break in here, Lionel, because Ariel's got limited time and Jaguar has just come on the screen. Hello, Jaguar. Meet Ariel.
Hello. I see you again.
We've met before?
Well, I said see you. I didn't say we met. I saw you doing the Pierce.
Technically, that would be viewing me, not seeing me.
Oh, my God. Already.
Okay.
Already, dog. Already. Jeez, oh, Pete. Technically, that's viewing me, not seeing me. If I view you, I'm not seeing you. What the hell? What the hell is going on right now? Already, y'all. Already.
Before?
Well, I said see you. I didn't say we met. I saw you doing the Pierce.
Technically, that would be viewing me, not seeing me. It was a joke.
Okay. I saw you there. We didn't have time to interact because everyone shot their segments separately. But as you know, I did not like the way Vlad handled you. And I spoke up for you then. And I don't know what went wrong between then and now.
I reached out to you. You sent me a message. We never heard from you.
Right. So a lot of people reach out to me once, and
I responded, and you never reached
back.
back.
What up, Joe?
I apologize if you
it's
did.
Cool. Look, you was busy. I'm sure you got a lot.
Right.
Hold on. This is already a back and forth for no reason. Shout out to April O'Neil's baby daddy. Every time I see this name in that picture, dog, I am just like, April O'Neil's baby daddy is a woman. I don't wait. She's a hey girl. What? Yo, shout out to April O'Neil's baby daddy, yo. Hilarious. Oh, I'm a man. Oh, I thought you was. Okay. Yeah, exactly. I thought you were. I'm sorry. I'm a boy. I am a boy, Damon. Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, women of all ages, I am a boy. Okay. Anyway, that was my cat Williams. What is going on with this panel already, dog? Exactly. He's like, exactly. Yo, hey, I thought something different too, dog. Funny moment on the chat. Funny moment on the live right now, dog. Funny moment on the live right now. Listen, let's go ahead, man. Let's go ahead, dog, and get to this real quick. I don't want to go too far left. But I backed up the time a little bit because I want to just play it out. I'm not going to delay no further. I'm sorry for you guys. I know you guys may not like that I talk so much at times, but there are certain things that just catch my attention naturally, and I have to respond. So here it is. This is Ariel, Courtney Burgess' lawyer, Jaguar Wright. We know who she is. and everybody from the Atwood show. All right, let's go.
And I spoke up for you then, and I don't know what went wrong between then and now.
I reached out to you. You sent me a message. We never heard from you.
Right. So a lot of people reach out to me once, and
I responded, and you never reached back. That's what happened.
You know, I apologize if you
it's
did
cool.
call.
Look, you was busy. I'm sure you got a lot.
Right. You know, fell through the cracks. I actually, when I didn't hear from you, I thought I left it where I was waiting for you to call me, because I think the last message I sent was.
We reached back. We never got anything.
Oh, I okay. Well, again, I don't know, but I don't know how it turned into a problem. Even if
no, it didn't turn into a problem. What it turns into is that right now, I'm not interested in what everyone else is interested. You know, my objective is a lot different than most people. See, I already know where the problems are. I know where the leaks are. I know where the gaps are. We all know that this is government ran. Of course, nobody wants to say that. I only feel comfortable with saying this because this is a British platform.
I'm comfortable saying it too. It's government ran.
Let's just be very clear about that. My greatest issue is the chain of evidence, you know.
Bruh,
Courtney.
Hey, KP, I feel you, bro. Listen to me, man. Let me tell you something. This is the reason why I said, look at their faces. They was already ready to claw at each other, dog. Already ready. So what's happening right now is just the natural cattiness between women. That's all. And at some point, we will get to the meat and potatoes of what this whole thing is about. Bruh, KP, I feel you, bruh. I feel you, bruh. All right, I feel you. Let's go.
Just told us the other day that it was Chris that gave him all of the information. Courtney also said that you came to him by way of Chris, and you and Chris have an association. It's just everything is so muddy how everyone actually knows each other. And then I'm sitting here and I'm listening to you and Lionel talk. And
you know what's so funny? Listen, I'm sorry, y'all, the pause, but this is a great point right here. Let me tell you why this is a great point from Ann. Ann said, Google is Google. It doesn't matter where your platform originates. Let me tell you something how great this is. Courtney Burgess was on the same. Now, let me blow myself up real quick. Courtney Burgess was on the same exact platform, and he got subpoenaed by the Southern District of New York to testify in front of the grand jury. So her being uncomfortable to talk about government things just because it's a British platform, it means absolutely nothing. This is, remember the last time we went live about this and I was like, yo, it's hard for me to take her seriously. It's just hard, bro, because she does this. You say, well, the reason why I feel comfortable talking about the government stuff is because of the fact that it's a British platform. Okay, well, it didn't work for Courtney because he said something about Snoop and something about Jay-Z and something about all these other cats, and he got subpoenaed. As a matter of fact, his 11 flash drives that he allegedly have that includes the Kim Porter manuscript and some videos of Diddy and all that kind of stuff from the freak off, those got confiscated by the state. Just because the very same platform that you're on, Courtney got subpoenaed, but for some reason no matter what platform you go on, you never get called for anything. This is the reason why I can't take her seriously sometimes, dog. Like now you don't want to talk about nothing because of British platform. Stop it. Stop it. Stop it. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. Hey, let's go, dog.
You know, it's always good to hear, legal eagles bust it up. There's a conversation that a lawyer can have with another lawyer that they can't have with a lay person, So that's always great. And you have a background, you said, working with child cases, right?
With DCF as general counsel. But I was representing the department, so there's two factions of DCF. Most people know the Child Protective.
FFS, I was referring to the, I'm sorry, y'all. I was referring to the fact that Courtney Burgess got subpoenaed by the Southern District New York Court to testify against the grand jury. That's actual fact. So and she's claiming that she should have been, she the one that should have been a witness. Why they calling him? Well, hey, I don't know. He was on the same platform you are on. So now you don't want to talk about government stuff? Really? Like, stop. You've been talking about government stuff on the blue couch. You've been talking about government stuff on the blue couch all day in this country. Now all of a sudden, because the platform is British, you feel more comfortable talking about government stuff? Stop it. Stop it.
Working with child cases, right?
With DCF as general counsel. But that was, I was representing the department, not, so there's two factions of DCF. Most people know the Child Protective Services, which is the department that goes and takes children and terminates parental rights. That's not,
I know CPS, sometimes I send them to people's houses.
Right, so that's a separate department. I actually was a lawyer, general counsel for the department. So I represent the agency, if you will, and litigation matters that they had related to the agency actions. So it's a little different, but like, for example, one of my divisions was child care licensing. So all of the daycares that got a child care daycare license in Miami-Dade and Monroe had me sign off on it at one point in time.
Which is interesting. I'd like to stop you there.
Sure.
Because the truth is I don't know if you know, I have strong ties to Dade and Broward.
I did not know that.
Duval.
Okay, I know Duval County well.
My daddy grew up in White Springs, Florida.
Okay.
And my family, we have our family, rites of passage, Urgent Inc., based out of over.
Who's clout chasing now? It sounds like two clout chasing. Never mind. Let me go.
Town. If you a day girl, then you should. The baseball diamond. My cousin painted. I'm just saying, my cousin painted that.
Very near all of those things. I know exactly.
I'm just saying, but I'm letting you know. My ties are very, very, very strong.
I love the Overtown community, the Gables community, these were foundational Black communities.
My cousin Kadir painted all of those
in the city of Miami. Absolutely. I'm very much so ingrained in Liberty City, Overtown, the Gables.
Me and my family raised a lot of money.
Ready.
And when I first started being arrested for abducting my child, who I had legal custody of, which was nothing but a legal maneuver to keep me in the system so that I would be forced to be on bond and not be able to carry a gun like a law-abiding American citizen. All of that. I was extradited. Matter of fact, the last time I was arrested in Dade, it was when I was just coming back from Morocco. I had been performing at the Palace with Terry Lynn Carrington for a Mosaic project. They arrested me clean off the plane for child abduction. Yeah, even though I had legal custody of my son. Dade County does a lot of interesting things, especially with social services and especially with families. And the truth is, a lot of those agencies are attached to a lot of the children that come up missing. See, I'm very aware of everything that's going on.
I wouldn't know anything about that.
I do. I know about it. I know a lot about it. Matter of fact, some of the girls that I was with in Metro West, you know where Metro West is, right?
Looking at the CPS side, I wouldn't litigate on that side.
Well, I know you would. I'm talking about
where I would like to be, because I could not.
I'm sorry. Everybody like, what's going on? Yo, man. Hey, man. Everybody in the chat got me dying laughing right now. They're like, hey, what's going on here? Even the ladies are like, okay, what is the idea of this? All right, let's go. Let's continue.
I could not stand for the government terminating. I think that's outside of the purview of the government, terminating parental rights, separating families. So I have my own issues, which is why I left government. I worked for the federal government under Trump, under his first presidency. And then I came back after that, and that's how I got the state job with DCF. So, I have my government experience. I really did want to serve my country in a legal way, in a legal capacity. And that's why I do what I do now.
My mother died in Dade County earlier this year, and we still can't find the death certificate. Yeah. Fake funeral, all of that stuff happened right on Facebook. There's a lot of things that go on wrong in Dade.
Absolutely.
My issue is this. What Courtney is now on the hook for, which he is now telling us he received from Chris Todd, and is saying that you brought him to Chris Todd. There was at no point in time where you questioned the amount of, that's an orgy of evidence that we're talking about.
I don't know what story, who told what, when.
I'm just saying what Courtney said.
I didn't watch any interview. I don't know if he said that, if he didn't say that. All I can say is I didn't meet Courtney Burgess until October 28th. So to that matter, I didn't know who he was or who he existed until that day.
So that was all very unclear because he had never stated that you were his attorney before then.
Well, no, because I did not know him. He did not know me. And I just got a call one day from him saying that he needed some assistance. And
that's funny because he said that you approached him. He said he didn't come.
That's not correct. So I don't approach anybody. It's called soliciting. I don't need to approach anybody. I'm like Martin. They call me, right? I don't play the games of calling people up. If there are times where I'll generally say, "Oh, I saw you," blah blah blah. But to Courtney, that did not happen. So just setting the record straight for everybody. That's not what occurred.
Well, no, because that's just what we discussed with him here.
Well, I don't know why he would have said that. Probably don't want people too much in his business, which is fine. But to the point of, I've only recently met Courtney. I recently only known Chris for a couple of months prior to that. These were all, I didn't even know they were affiliated with one another. I didn't learn that information until afterwards.
This is so odd. It's like everyone is so closely connected in this very chaotic situation and nobody knows each other.
Well, I think, at least to me, I know I was sought out for the reasons that I was already involved in this. So that's, I at least know that was how I was approached. Like, I've seen you, I know you're heavily involved in this. I have things that, may or may not be of benefit, or may not, you could benefit me. So, I'm always for being an open ear. If how else do you acquire information? I don't know what I don't know. I have to.
But I wanted to really just get back and lean into the orgy of evidence.
So the orgy of evidence I haven't seen.
I'm not saying that you've seen it. I'm saying that anytime you have those many recordings, those many images all pushed together and just dropped off like a Christmas
gift. Again, let me be clear. I had no knowledge of exactly what was or what wasn't until.
I'm not saying that you are. What I'm asking you is, as an attorney who works with skilled investigators, anybody knows that nobody just gets that kind of stuff dropped off like a Christmas gift. It was engineered.
Who am I to tell anybody or to scrutinize, how they acquired information?
I'm not saying scrutinize.
Well, no. I'm just saying a lot of times we have situations where sometimes you can't always trace back a chain of command. We have law enforcement agents.
Hold on. Does Jaguar Wright think that defense attorneys are investigators, or attorneys, period, are investigators? What is going on right now? Like, what does she want her to do? What does she want her to do? Like, I don't even know what is happening right now. What do you want this woman to do? So the last time that Jaguar Wright was on this platform with Courtney Burgess also, well, even before that, when Courtney Burgess was on this platform, he said that he received 11 flash drives. He said eight celebrities were on this flash drives. There were some free calls videos. There was also the manuscript from Kim Porter's memoir. He alleges that a man who is associated with Kim Porter sent him these flash drives after he had a conversation with Kim Porter on the phone. This is what he alleges. And he got on this platform and talked so much to the point where he was summoned to go to court. As a matter of fact, a marshal of the court had to go get this man so that way he could be a witness to the grand jury. When he came out the court, the first people that met him was TMZ. Okay? TMZ. I made a whole video about this. Right after TMZ, he had another hearing. After that hearing, he went to another platform, News Nation. I did a video about News Nation and interviewing Courtney Burgess. He claims there was minors on the videos. He claims they were males. He claims they were celebrities. He claims that Kim Porter's manuscript, unedited, was on those flash drives. He had 11 of them. 11 flash drives is what he claims. Okay. So this is where Jaguar Wright is getting her. She's getting her information just like everybody else. She's trying to make it seem like she's not. She's trying to make it seem like she has this insider type of thing, sort of like Adam Schefter from ESPN. No, you're not Adam Schefter, ma'am. You're Jaguar Wright, who used to be a phenom in the background vocal game in the music industry, and you participated, according to your interview and your on Pierce Morgan, you participated and indulged in being someone who recruited women for these type of alleged parties that you're talking about. Okay, so don't give me this like you're an advocate for it. You was recruiting at one point, ma'am. Out of your own mouth, you said this. She said this. No one said this but her. Okay. So now you're trying to muscle and man up on Ariel when you've been issued some warrants too. Oh, so they're picking with you, and she's not being picked with. She's just a part of the judiciary process, I guess. Really? Well, what's really going on right now? What is really going on right now, man? Like, so that's the information she's getting. And this is the reason why they subpoena. The only reason, and this is the one thing I agree with that she said from the last time. I agree that they summoned him to court and confiscated his flash drives just to make sure that what he got, they got. And I do agree with that. Compartmentalize that part, and that's probably all I agree with. Sherman. Okay, that's all I agree with, really. Everything else, you're going somewhere, and I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there. I don't want to go there at all. You know what I'm saying? So this is the reason why this is the reason why she coming in hot like this, is because she thinks that she has more information than the lawyer that's on here, which is Ariel Mitchell-Kidd. We already know that she liked to wear other celebrities' dresses, and we talking about Ariel, and she liked to be weaved up and she liked to do her. She a lady. She liked to show off. Okay, I'm cool with that, but ma'am, I'm gonna need you to know your shit. I hired you. I'm trying to figure out, why would you hire Courtney Burgess? I need Courtney Burgess on this. Why would you hire? What? Why, bro? And Ann sent me some 411. I appreciate you. She emailed me some stuff that I'm going to look at later. Okay, and we're going to dissect that, because Ariel might be a little biased. Okay, a little biased. All right, listen to me. This is crazy, man. This is absolutely crazy. So I'm about to go ahead and let it continue. Let's ride out. Listen, it's 8:42. I got time. Today. Listen, happy weekend. Happy Friday. I know y'all just got paid. Some of y'all probably about to hang out around 11 o'clock. Let me entertain you before 11. All right. Let me entertain you before 11. Okay, let's go.
You always can't trace back or come in.
I would have to disagree with that, because
I've seen cases where that has happened.
Well, and usually in most of the cases where that happens, someone dropped the ball, someone got paid, something got lost.
I'm not saying that, but we're not even talking about in a legal space now. We're just strictly talking about regular people, how information can exchange hands. Yeah. And all I'm at with it is when somebody comes to me, because again, Courtney came to me as somebody who needed legal representation for an ongoing matter. He didn't need me to sue someone. So I think people kind of have to misunderstand. I think there's a misunderstanding of the approach of a lawyer.
What role you were?
Right. So what role? If somebody like you, Jaguar, he's coming to me.
No, but I mean, Chris.
No, but you gotta listen to me like I listen to you. Jaguar, if you come to me for representation,
though.
Wait, okay, so if you come to me for representation, you're a plaintiff. I have to file your case. There's one set of investigation I have to do, set of questions I have to ask, a set of circumstances I have to meet before I can say, yes, I can take your case and then go and file it. Now, there's a different situation where you come to me, Jaguar, and say, hey, I got this subpoena. Hey, I have this warrant. I need you to help me clear it up. That's an ongoing matter. Then my investigation is less about what you're telling me, and it's how to resolve this matter in front of me.
Okay. All right. So, okay. Does that make sense? I think that makes sense, actually. I actually do. It's the difference between you having an ongoing matter and you need me to represent you, opposed to you got some stuff and you may need some representation. That's different. That's different. So I can understand that. Let me say it that way. I can understand that. I can understand that. Natasha said they are very good at juggling. Okay, they're very good at juggling right now. All right, let's go.
Investigation is less about what you're telling me, and it's how to represent this matter in front of me.
And so understood. All of that is understood. That's not the question that I'm asking. The question that I'm asking is that in everything that I've researched and all of the things that I look at, anytime you find an orgy of evidence, it is contrived.
So you're putting this moniker of orgy of evidence. I'm telling you, I don't know it to be an orgy. I don't know.
Courtney said it came from
all I know is the only thing I know is about the one thing I talked about in the book. So if there are more things, I have sat next to Courtney in interviews and heard him say things to you all in real time as he's saying it to me. I was hearing it for the first time too. So again, I had very limited time. You're talking about a 36-hour turnaround.
Oh, what? No. If my client coming to me, I'm the lawyer, my client coming to me with some stuff that they got, I'm looking at everything with them. I'm going to investigate what my client have, not the case, but what my client have first. Then I can start going into the actual case and seeing what's being brought up. Especially if I'm representing my client as a witness in a federal case. I'm not looking at, I don't know what they, you mean to tell me I don't know the content or the context of what they got? Lazy, dog. This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. As long as I'm getting retained, as long as I'm getting the paper, I'm cool. No, you're going to actually have to do some stuff. I didn't know anything until that y'all knew about it. That should never come out your lawyer's mouth. That should never come out of your lawyer's mouth. That they found out something when you found out something, or they found out something when somebody else found out something outside of it being you. There is nowhere in the world that your lawyer should be saying that at all, especially on a platform that's almost got 1 million subs. They tripping, dog. She is tripping. Ariel Mitchell, dog, come on, man. You are tripping right now. Let's go.
No, I'm not talking. But see, I'm not talking about the grand jury. And I'm not. Yes,
I don't know if there is an orgy of evidence.
Well, they confiscated something. My point is, all of these clips that they're talking about, all of this stuff that they're talking about, some of it I'm sure is real. A good share of it I'm sure is not. My point is, it was all put together and packaged for a specific reason. And that's what I don't understand. Why nobody is trying to get to the origin
of the root. I get what you're saying. You want to get to the actual root cause of how this existed, how it.
Well, no, I know how it existed.
Well, I mean,
I know what Ken did.
It's here now. How did Courtney get it in this package form?
Exactly.
It is now. Sometimes I don't question God's will. Sometimes God puts things in certain paths and certain people, and there lacks explanation for it.
And every time he said it himself that someone gave it to him, and he feels like he's being set up.
Well, I don't know if he's being set up. I know me, Ariel.
Stop. This is just say something about God's will. This is just say something about God's will. Stop. Let's go.
Explanation for it.
But and every time he said it himself that someone gave it to him, and he feels like he's being set up.
Well, I don't know if he's being set up. I know me, Ariel. I have been sounding the alarm about Diddy being a bad guy and bad things happening at his house since 2021. You guys just kind of caught up. Like,
Actually, no, I've been talking about it for longer than that.
No, I know, but I mean, in terms of a legal battle, I was trying to bang that drum, and no one was willing to hear me.
It only because everyone was paid off, and everyone was hoping that Kamala Harris was going to get elected. See, this election changes a lot right now.
Let me just jump in. Jaguar.
Well, I see him doing it.
How are we doing, Jag?
Hey,
Welcome back.
Romeo.
I just want to say, whenever Jag disappears out of nowhere, it's always a fun time. It's like firecrackers going off. But how you doing, Jag? Welcome aboard. So, let me just recombobulate everything you guys have said, right? Because I think your main point is all this evidence. Why now? Where did it come from? On the Daily Show, I think yesterday or today, we listened, and again, I'm so sorry. I can't remember who said it. Can't remember where it was, but it's on the show. And there was a narrative that said that Kim directly gave everything to Chris, and it was Chris who handed it over to Courtney. Does anyone know the narrative I'm talking about or anything like that?
I would like for Chris Todd to explain when he started his friendship with Kim Porter.
I would like to,
I've heard, I've personally heard several different versions, of how things progress.
I can tell you what
one set of version I heard from Chris, and then another one from Courtney. I'm not going to disclose what those versions are per se, but yes, I definitely heard stories from both of them of how this came into fruition. Yes, so I do know somehow something that I would let them explain it to you and tell you what they told me.
Shane said Courtney's watching and considering coming on.
Okay. Just
come on, Courtney.
Just blink once, Ariel, if it was in fact Chris that handed it over. And of course, there we go. That's it. Right. Okay. So, Jaguar, always, fabulous to have you back as always. And, just continue, because I know you're not done. I know you've got that face on where you're like, I'm just going to let Ron finish what he's saying, and then it's back on this. So I'm just going to let you carry on with what you were saying. We'll see.
No, I want you to get involved. Ro, come on now. We need.
Honestly, Jaguar, I'm at the point now where all I want to do is a live stream about your music, if I'm being honest with you, and stuff like that. I'm being serious with you. Like, I want to get on a deeper level with you, and we always meet on the dark side of content.
Well,
and I want to hear all about.
There's a lot of lightness coming because I'm at the studio and we're about to start recording. I got to get this EP finished, and a lot of things that I have to say to the public will be wrapped up in the words that we put on this project. But while I am speaking, out front, I have an issue with anyone who's playing with the legacy of Kim Porter.
Yeah.
I have a big issue. And the reason why I have a big issue is because even though her and I were not best friends, we didn't go vacationing together. When we were all starting out back in the 90s, I remember what we all had to do.
Yeah.
What we all.
She talking about Uptown Records right now.
All did to make it.
Yeah.
I remember, I didn't find out that her and Albert were really married until many years later. They kept all of that very quiet. When Quincy was born, everything that was going on at that time, there was a lot. There was a big turnover. There was that big internal struggle with Andre Harrell and Puffy trying to, become everything that he became. Kim was there the entire time, the whole way. Everything that she collected, it wasn't for salacious. It was because if anything should ever happen to her, she wanted everyone to know where to look. Like everything that she did.
Whoa. Double tongue. Fellas. Fellas. I'm gonna need y'all to understand how women talk. All right? Listen to this. Listen to this very carefully.
Andre Harrell and Puffy trying to, become everything that he became. Kim was there the entire time, the whole way. Everything that she collected, it wasn't for salacious. It was because if anything should ever happen to her, she wanted.
It wasn't for salacious. It was just if anything was ever to happen to her. Sir. Sirs, what does that mean? What does that mean? Dog. She didn't gather evidence because it was for salacious reasons, and that could be true. But just in case if anything was to ever happen, what does that sound like to you? What does that sound like to you, fellas? If you think a woman don't have a backup plan, you're a fool. You are a fool. All right? Dog. the way she is subscribing this makes it look foolish. If we went off of just her word, according to what Kim Porter presented in her way, even though she's not here to say it for herself, for some reason, she thinks she's the spokesperson for Kim Porter. For whatever reason. I don't even know why. She just said they wasn't best friends like that or whatever. So I don't even know what she's on right now. But for some reason, she's an advocate for Kim Porter. And even she's saying Kim Porter didn't retrieve all that information for salacious reasons. She brought it up to just in case if there's ever a situation, in case something happens. What do you think that means? What do you think that means? It ain't cookout related, I'll tell you that much. It ain't related to the cookout, bruh. What do you think that means, fam? Bruh, ain't no way, dog. Ain't no way, dog. You ain't gonna talk double tongue to me like that. I'm gonna just let that slide. Protect yourself, fellas. Protect yourself. Let's go. Protect yourself at all times like a boxer, man. Protect yourself at all times, man.
Everyone to know where to look. Like everything that she did was a flashlight to say, this guy is dangerous. People say, oh, this person didn't say that. But now everyone is finding out that we have like a sandcastle high version of NDAs covering up years and years of abuses. We don't even know how many NDAs Kim might have had to have signed throughout the years. This is the problem with all of the secretiveness, all of this money, all of these lies, and then all of the years. We got to get to the bottom of what's real. And what
May I ask a question?
Yeah.
Just point of order. Is there anybody, Jaguar et alia, is there anyone or that you're aware of who suspects foul play and disputes the official finding of this lobar pneumonia?
Yes.
As far as her cause of death?
Everybody
have questioned it.
Everybody,
Has questioned it.
every human person.
Kimura has questioned. I'm talking about people who are directly attached.
And everybody outside of that, I think.
And everyone has said it. Everyone knew it.
Everybody.
Bring us up to speed.
The simple fact
what are
that
the
her
main
gold
reasons?
casket was pre-ordered and ready for her demise before she got sick. Why does no one talk about that? Why did Diddy have a casket ready for her before she even got sick? That casket was waiting, ready for her corpse.
Let me ask you this, aside from that,
she passed away.
Very specifically, and Counselor Ariel, you will know this. Who was it who actually conducted the autopsy? Was there any follow-up?
This is a good question. Who? What? Where? Who did the autopsy? What did the autopsy? What is it? Because I agree. I don't think it was natural causes like pneumonia. Really? No. Nope. No. Not where you live. Not where she live at. No. Pneumonia is out the question, bro. Something happened. We do. This is where I can agree. We got to eat the fish and spit the bones out. I agree with this. Like this, something happened, dog, and we want to know the truth about it. Something happened. So I'm glad that he brought this question up.
A forensic pathologist, a la Michael Baden.
That man is now deceased, and his findings were foul play.
The original, and then they had it go. Welcome to downtown Miami. And then they had somebody else come in and determine it to be pneumonia. But there were two coroners who made reports at the time. The first was suspected foul play.
No longer with us.
Right. It's a lot of precarious circumstances.
By the way, that's the same coroner that gave the findings, the real findings to Brittany Murphy's dad. The same coroner. That uncovered foul play with Kim, uncovered foul play with Brittany after her father demanded it be done. I'm sure they wanted him gone. He was unraveling a lot of stories that a lot of people.
One of the things which people have to understand, ladies and gentlemen, is that we always talk about this country being the beacon of truth with a wonderful judicial system and freedom of speech. As an example, not to deliver, Regarding the other individual that we're talking about who was demised in federal custody, he had absolutely textbook homicide evidence. Petechial hemorrhaging, hyoid bone cartilage, thyroid cartilage fracture, livor mortis, go down. It could be a forensic pathology 101. And what amazes me is that when the country wants to look the other way, it's almost like in Star Wars, Sean, when they say, these are not the droids you're looking for. These are not the droids you're looking for. Nothing to see here. There you go, Jaguar and Ariel, you and your conspiracy theories, always going down. And then he starts saying, well, there she goes. And what happens is we have got to start off with the premise that we are not, as Gore Vidal says, we are not a conspiracy theorist. We are conspiracy analysts. And as everybody knows, a conspiracy does not mean crazy. It just means a confederation of two or more people. It's an arrangement. And we think about
hello. What I said earlier about a conspiracy, it don't mean nothing.
this. If you happen to be, especially in a poorer community where they don't even have medical examiners, they don't even have forensic pathologists. There are jurisdictions that have undertakers. The number of unsolved murders in this country would blow your mind. And if it can happen to her, it can happen to anybody.
Can I say something?
All right. Is it possible that I can just go ahead and get towards the Courtney Burgess? Because Courtney Burgess does come on. He does come on at a certain point, and I want to get to that point. Oh, shoot. Okay. All right. So there was a point where the woman who I believe who got shot at the club in New York back when Diddy was dating J-Lo, I believe she got on here too. It's a lot going on right now, y'all. I'm sorry. Now there's a lot going on right now. She got on here too. All right. And I want to be able to present all of this to you guys because one of the things is that the trial is not going to start until May. And the thing about it is this, is that what we're looking at right now, and even the things that Courtney Burgess was subpoenaed to do or whatever, all of this stuff is going to be in the trial. It's going to be used in the trial. I know we entertained by the fact that we got the caddies going at it right now, but this is going to be in the trial, yo. This is going to be something that's going to be used. So I want to see what happens here, because there are some other things that's going to happen next week that I want to be able to cover as well. But in the meantime, I'm looking at this and I'm like, yo, this is definitely something that we need to pay attention to, because again, you never know when it's going to come through. And the YSL trial teaches you that, like, you don't know when this stuff is going to happen. You don't know when somebody's going to bring up something that has nothing to do with anything. And then you got to try to remember what that even means. Like that kind of play. Like there was something on X that showed the original plea deal versus the plea deal that was signed when it came to Muktum. And it was a revised, edited version. And I said it on my channel. I said that I bet you that Miss Love gave the attorney a revised, edited document of the plea deal to confuse him. And that's exactly what happened. That is exactly what happened. And just like any other case, you gotta dot all your I's, cross your T's. That's what can happen in a situation like this. Like everybody talking and laughing and hee-hee-hawing, but at the same time, you can misconstrue some evidence unbeknownst. Unbeknownst. Let's go.
All right. And just watch the madness on 4, because I'm telling you, man, there's a game there for all your friends of hers. I'm telling you.
Eric Natanya wants to come in.
So you guys
yeah,
are
of
fun.
course.
I like it. I like it.
I think Natanya's got some questions for
Here she
Ariel.
go. Here she go.
Greetings, all. Greetings.
Very quickly.
Sean, Lionel, Ron, Jag, you know how I feel about you guys. I love you. Ariel, my first time meeting you.
Nice to meet you.
Natanya, before you get started,
Mm-hmm.
I got someone I need to put you on the phone with.
Absolutely.
She wants to join our little project.
Okay.
Have you ever heard of Liz Crokin?
Jack, Ariel's on the clock, Jack. Okay,
I'm sorry. We'll talk. Yeah, we'll talk after.
Your ADHD is worse than my ADHD. Okay,
Listen to me, baby. That's a smart person's curse.
Yeah, I understand it.
You know what's so funny about this? Again, she did not do any of this on Piers Morgan. None of this. None of this on Piers Morgan. None. I find it ironic.
But yeah, just to give Natanya opportunity to ask Ariel a question.
Courtney is here as well.
Thank you so much
Courtney's
for your time.
joined us.
Yeah, Courtney, I don't know if you've met Ariel before. We'll move on. Natanya, fire away your question.
So, Ariel, anybody that knows me or has even just a remote experience with me understands that I'm about vibrational frequencies and I'm feeling things out. And I'm, no disrespect or anything, but my jury is still out on you, and not from a negative perspective, just trying to feel you out in all of this, because like Jaguar said, there's a lot of information and a lot of moving parts, and it just seems like people keep popping in and popping out, and it is starting to feel a little contrived.
You know what's so funny? You know what's so funny about this? I'm sorry to pause again. You know what's so funny about this? She's not saying this to Tony Busby. He has 120 alleged victims. Can I just keep it a bean? Can I keep it a Kobe Bean Bryant right now? She has one guy that she represents. Listen, is Ariel Mitchell a trash attorney? Yes. Okay, listen to me. I would never hire her to represent me at all. She is terrible. Okay, to me, that's my opinion. However, what I'm not going to do is be disingenuous. She is representing one guy who was subpoenaed and marshaled by the Southern District Court of New York to testify in front of a grand jury with physical evidence that they wanted to confiscate. Okay, Tony Busby has 120 plus alleged victims of Diddy, and you mean to tell me this lady is saying my verdict is out on her? My verdict will be out on Tony. You got 120 alleged victims. You got about maybe 15, 16 actual cases, and then you don't have no suspicious ideology towards him. Am I off? Can somebody tell me is it me? Am I off? It's me. I'm off. It got to be me. It got to be me. I got to be off. It has to be me. It has to be me. It has to be. It has to be me, because I don't understand how that's possible. This man has over 100 alleged victims of the same person, from the same person. And this woman has she's representing one man, Courtney Burgess, that was subpoenaed by the Southern District Court of New York to testify. The marshals came to get him because according to him, he misconstrued the dates. I don't know, right? You mean to tell me you have a side eye with her, but no side eye with Tony Busby, who is representing people we ain't even seen yet? Come on, man. We ain't even ever seen them yet. Have you seen an alleged victim of Tony Busby? Have you seen a victim of Tony Busby yet? Tell me. Give me one out of the 120.
How do you apply that to me now? How do you feel? Am I either popping in or popping out, or a part of this live nature?
So here's how I apply it to you. I was astounded to hear from Courtney that and from Chris that you were their junction point. That Chris, that Courtney came up. Your awareness of Courtney came from Chris.
Okay.
And Chris's connection to everything, my awareness of the book came from Chris. Chris reached out to me. I was astounded. Most people never get my personal number, but he got it and was texting me and saying, I have some information I think you'd like to see. And so my concern is that for the victims, I don't want, in all of these things, I don't want anyone to lose sight of the victims. And I kind of feel like that's happening. It almost kind of feels a little like some sort of charade is going on. I don't know where, and I can't prove that, but it does feel a little convoluted in the space. And it seems like the impact to the victims and for the victims is of minimal consequence to so many people. And I just want to ask you, of course you're representing your client, but I just want to say in this space, while there are so many people watching, I would like everyone to keep their eyes on the prize. The victims matter. And even though.
Do you think this defense attorney, do you think she care about some victims? Seriously. She's a defense attorney. She don't care about them victims. She ain't even got to say it. I know she don't. She don't care about the victims, man. She's not representing the victims or a family of the victims. She's representing one person, Courtney Burgess, a guy who received, according to him, 11 flash drives from a dude who knew Kim Porter. And got summoned to court. However they know each other, it don't even matter at this point, honestly, because at the end of the day, she don't care about no victims. She's a defense attorney. I'm assuming she's retained. And she getting her money and she representing her client. She don't care about no damn victims. She don't. Why you're asking her to care about something that she's not even conditioned to care about? This is the dumbest question of all times right now. This lets you know how people don't understand the law. You want people to be sympathetic and people don't care about you. You ain't that special. Yes, you've been hurt. You've been battered and bruised. Let me tell you something. You can say it, family. It don't matter. They don't nobody care. The only person that care is the person that care inside your relationship. When you have a relationship with somebody, they care. They care until you give them a reason not to. Or they discover a reason not to care. But come on, man. You want her to be as sympathetic and empathetic as you? She can't. She's not even white. Look at her. Look at her. Look at this face. Look at it. You think she's wired to care about what you care about? No. No. She don't care about nothing you talking about, dog.
I have yet to be called. I am a victim who, while you've been sounding since 2021, Jag has been sounding for years. I've been sounding the alarm for 25 years.
Yeah.
25 years. And this is too far to come.
And she still don't care. Look at it. Look at it. She still don't care.
To feel like there's a song and dance taking place. I want everybody, regardless of how you came to this topic and came to this issue, the core element that should not be lost on anyone is how it impacts the victims.
Yeah.
And it's the one thing I hear so very few people that are in this arena talk about.
I don't know if you've been watching me this whole time, like scroll down, looking at my phone. It's because I'm dealing with my other clients, mainly my client, Ashley. So I do understand, because you're coming from an outsider's perspective. You're not there with me.
I'm coming from an outsider's perspective.
Well, no, I don't mean, I'm talking about to me as it applies to your, not with the Diddy situation at all. I'm talking about how I approach, because I thought this was about you saying you couldn't get a read on me yet in terms of making sure I kept the victims in front. So I only keep the victims in front. We have a situation now where, because this is so newsworthy and so media worthy, that we can't, even as a lawyer, I can't control exactly how or what is fun in the media. But in the background, when I'm doing my job, when I'm filing motions, when I'm on the phone consoling my clients, when I'm talking to them for hours and hours and helping them navigate these new waters, this terrain that exists now, very tumultuous terrain that deals with being a victim of Diddy's. I know they would not say anything or would not feel that way because they know they are my priority. Their case is my priority, and anything to get them justice is my top priority. But I can acknowledge what you're saying. I do agree that because of the sensationalism in the media, it has become sort of muddled who the primary focus should be on. And people like you and others who have been victimized by Diddy for the past 30 years. You know, I've been saying it should be more victims. We haven't even really scratched the surface. This man has had 30 years to rain terror on individuals. And, you know, we're just now scratching the surface of what's happened. And because it seems like so many, because it's so overwhelming, because it's somebody who was really an integral part of the hip hop Black community and music in itself, music, entertainment, fashion. So I think all of that coming to a head is just, in general, murking up the works, honestly. You know, I think that's
so for me, my issue was not necessarily.
You know what's so funny about this? The funny part about this is the fact that she's questioning her like this. When Courtney Burgess was actually summoned to testify against Diddy, even though he's saying he wasn't. That's whatever, dog. You have evidence against Diddy, so you were summoned to testify against him. Period. And the fact that somebody is representing someone who has been summoned and subpoenaed to testify against the alleger that did stuff to you, it's still not enough. Like you have to prolong this drama. It's like, dude, yes, we know what happened to you back in the days, man. We know all this stuff, but you coming at the wrong person. You going after the wrong person. That's just a fact, man. That's just a fact.
As it pertains to this segment of it, where it became an issue for me was, and I don't mean to cast any aspersions on you, but where it came to an issue for me was when you first entered the lexicon of the Diddy sphere, and it seemed as though your primary focus was catch and kill for, you know, celebrities to not be ashamed. It almost felt like your interviews were to some degree letting celebrities know, hey, I can be used as a venue if you want to kill one of these tapes that's out there for you. And
I'm sorry.
Any aspersions, but as a victim, that's
so I can understand how sensitive, and I just want to say I've only come into your foray that way. I have been doing this for several years with people, including Trey Songz, Chris Brown, Conor McGregor. So I just think maybe I became on a bigger foray where I came into your lexicon of contact with this situation. And just so you know, I am a lawyer. I am in the business of making money, and a lot of the business that I come to. And
what did I just again? I have never seen this before. I'm reacting to it the same way as you all. What did I tell you? She ain't been retained by nobody but Courtney Burgess. All she care about is Courtney Burgess. She literally just dog. You can, yo. I just dropped the link in the chat. If you want to come up and have a discussion with me, please, by all means, do so. I welcome everybody, man. You know, I got love but love. But didn't I just tell you? Didn't I just tell you she don't care about nothing but who retains her? You want this woman to care about what you care about. That's not how the world works. It don't work that way. She's not going to care about what you care about. You know why? Because it ain't got no ching-ching attached to it. And it's sad to say. It's very sad to say, but that's the reality of it.
I have been doing this for several years with people, including Trey Songz, Chris Brown, Conor McGregor. So I just think maybe I became on a bigger foray where I came into your lexicon of contact with this situation. And just so you know, I am a lawyer. I am in the business of making money. And a lot of the business that I come to, and I said at the beginning of this, where if I could talk about the people who I've settled with. You guys would be more astounded to hear about those than the cases that you know are public. And I did say at the beginning of this that I too can say and take some culpability and playing a role in making sure things like this don't come to the public foray. I'm guided by God and the law principles of the biblical principles. So what I do when I practice law is I send a letter. I call it a come to Jesus letter, because the Bible tells me that if I have an ought against my brother, I take it to my brother first. And then after I take it to my brother, if my brother doesn't rectify it with me, then I take it to the church. And the church in this sense is the court. So every person I've ever sued, I've sent that come to Jesus letter. Hey, this is what's going on. This person has come to me. Would you?
What? Nah, fam. Nah, you trying to now you trying to insult my intelligence, dog. And see, I don't like this. I don't like when a person trying to insult my intelligence, man. I don't like it. I don't like it. Now you trying to insult my intelligence. I ain't with that. Nope.
You like to do this? I give my clients the option of that come to Jesus letter, or we can go to straight smoke. Either one is fine with me, but I do that in an effort to give everybody an opportunity, because no man is perfect. So I want everybody to have an opportunity to right their wrongs. So there are more people who come to me that I've been doing this way before y'all saw me on TV saying.
I get that. So that notwithstanding, as it pertains to the parameters for which we are discussing, not your other clients. I love your advocacy for your other clients and for other cases that you've been involved in, but as it pertains to this case, complacency breeds contempt, and he has had 30 years. I don't think anybody connected to the vileness of this case needs any additional time, because for every catch and kill, that's a person that says, whew, got away with it, and then they turn into the new Diddy. I think as it pertains, hold on with you. But as it pertains to this case, I'm wondering, are attorneys and people that are entering the lexicon paying attention to the fact that when you sit on a national news program and you say, well, I have been approached by someone and we have these tapes and we have the opportunity for catch and kills to take place, you're telling the victims, well, your part of it doesn't really matter. I got to get this Skrilla. That's what it feels like.
Well, no, because I'm not telling. I think.
See, here we go. That's not what it is. See, this is the problem. And the link is right here in the chat. Listen, if you want to come up, and I would love to hear what you all have to say, man. I know KP was trying to come up here last time and something was happening with his phone, but yo, I would love for y'all to come up. Listen, this is the hard thing. This is the hard thing about being a victim, right? Even if you're a legit victim. In a case like this, it's going to be hard to establish anything that's concrete enough to go towards him in that way. Now, again, Natanya, who is on the panel, who is the victim of being shot in the face during the time back in the day where at the nightclub in New York where Diddy was dating J-Lo, and Shine took the fall for it, right? You want these people to care about something that you care about. You want them to care about the victims. You want them to care about all they're not conditioned to care about it like that. She just said, I'm a lawyer, so I got to make money. She mentioned money for a reason. That was her way of saying, Mitch, if you haven't retained me, I'm not interested. You know, she can say it in a nice way if she wants to, which is her prerogative. But the bottom line is you're not going to retain her. She's not going to entertain you unless you retain her. And so the problem is that there's so many victims that want people to see things their way. They ain't going to see it your way. Should they? Maybe so. Probably 99.9% they probably should. But the way the world works, no. This is why you got to be in the world and not of it. Otherwise, you will fall into this whole thing about caring don't nobody care about the victims, man. And that's the problem. Yes, is that a problem? Absolutely. But the way it works, man, don't nobody care. You think Ariel Esquire cares about what she talking about? No. And she can say she's been an advocate for this many years and that. No one has been more of an advocate about Diddy than anybody on this panel, dog. For real. The person that's probably been the advocate for the most part is probably silent at this point. For whatever, however they are. I'm telling you, that nobody on this panel cares about the victims. You want people to care about something that they don't, that they're not conditioned to care about. That's a losing battle. If you care about them, then you do what it takes to care about them. But asking somebody else to do it, that's not the way that works, man. It don't work that way. And that's the problem. That's the problem. I mean, again, you have to be able to see it from two different lenses, dog. You have to. Like, I'm talking about the court system. You have to see it from two different angles. Otherwise, you're going to collapse. You're going to always fail. You're going to always lose your cases. So you're on a panel that has nothing to do with victims. The only thing it has to do with is the representation of Courtney Burgess and the legitimacy of Courtney Burgess by way of his lawyer. Because the last time he was by himself and he was terrible. Courtney Burgess doesn't know how to represent himself. This is the reason why he hired Ariel. You coming on here talking about the victims, there is absolutely nobody except for maybe Jaguar Wright who cares about the victims as much as you do. Like, what are you trying to do right now? What are you really trying to do right now?
Let's be clear. I think what I said was, I'm not going to do it. So let's be clear on that. That's exactly what I said.
I saw you exactly about 4 interviews. I saw you on about
That's
4
exactly what I said.
However, I saw you on about 4 interviews before you said that. I saw you.
And did I say I would sell it? Did I? Well, I wasn't talking about
not to sell it. You were presented in this space to me as brokering the deals, and so that's why I say the jury's still out, because the next time.
But I'm pretty clear, and I'm pretty clear on that interview I did September 26th that I explicitly said I was approached to do this, and I declined the representation. So everybody has their own moral lines to draw.
Absolutely.
Everybody, there are a lot of lawyers who are only out here for that.
Tanya, I don't think you're going to get. I don't think you're going to get the answer you want.
No, it's not about the answer I want. I was simply, it's not an answer per se. Right. And I am trying to.
She's trying to get a feel for me. She's trying to understand.
Outside of that, notwithstanding, I'm trying to present into this lexicon for people that are watching. There are a lot of victims that do not perceive themselves to be able to speak up. They also don't have access to these mediums to be able to speak up. And they. You see,
this is the reason why. This is the issue with having too many victims of the same thing. You're going to be unable to scrutinize who's authentically a victim and who isn't. This is the reason why cases like this never end in the way that everybody wants it to end. It doesn't matter how you say. You're not going to be able to tell me or if any other citizen of the United States was on the jury, you can't convince them that Tony Busby's victims and all the other victims, you can't convince them that every last single victim that they claim to be is right. You're not going to be able to do that. You're not going to be able to say these 700 and some victims that proclaim to say that Diddy did something to them, all of them are victims. You're not going to be able to get that. As a matter of fact, I would say the percentage of true victimization is going to be decreased. Because most people dive into things based on their own cognizance, based on their own mindset. They're like, oh man, I get an opportunity out of this. I'm gonna do this. And then if it don't go your way, now you're a victim already. That's the narrative that they can paint on you. That's the narrative that the defense can be like, dog, didn't you say you wanted an opportunity? Were you aware that Diddy was the type of person to do blah, 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 blah? And if you say yes, get off the stand, dog. You see what I'm saying? This is the reason why the real victims who I feel for, they're not even talking much. It's all the other people who have an idea of what's going on. And then all of a sudden, just like Jaguar Wright, all of a sudden when we do talk to you, you're actually one of the ones who was recruiting the women. Just throw it away. Throw it away. Dude, this is crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. And then she wants, this lady right here wants somebody to care. Don't nobody care now? Don't nobody care now. Natasha says, do you really think that the victims wants to hear those? Exactly. I don't think. Listen, the true victims don't care about what none of them talking about. None. All they care about is their own experience with this man or men that he's been associated with. If you don't have an idea of what that's like, you're not going to be able to relate to any victim. And according to this panel right here, the only person that could possibly relate to this level of accusation is Jaguar. However, she reeled herself in participating in the ideology of Diddy and Jay-Z. So now we can't. So now that's the reason why you ain't been subpoenaed to come to court. You participated. What you will do is dismantle the witness list. Because if the defense say, weren't you a main recruit for the women for these freak offs? The only answer would be yes, because you already admitted to it on Pierce Morgan. Oh, goodness.
They also feel a sense of triggering still. I've had 25 years worth of triggering to deal with to be able to eclipse all of those issues and speak truth to power. And so for me, the God I serve, everything has a start and an end. And I feel like at this point in time, this is the end for him. I don't think any deals, and I understand your job as an attorney, and I'm not trying to take that away from you, but at this juncture, deals should not be struck with people who participated in things that were hurtful to others. Right now, let the chips fall where they may. We are walking into the age of Aquarius. And in the age of Aquarius, truth exists. And if that wall needs to come down, no one should stand in the midst of it.
Well, I'm going to say this to you. I can't, I as a lawyer, and you as a person who's not the client, it's not my job to tell the client, no, you don't take a settlement because we got to take this person down. That's not my job.
But my job is to present the. You were talking about prospective clients, not your client per se.
So any prospective client, I'm going to tell them, I'm going to look in the camera and say, I'm going to do what you want me to do. So if you want to sue and you want justice to be served, great. If you want to have your case resolved so you don't have to be re-triggered and re-traumatized by a trial, that is also great. But I am going to do exactly what you want to have in your case because that is your call to make, not mine, not anybody else's. My job is to execute your vision. That's it. And I think a lot of people have a problem because a lot of lawyers don't approach the law like that. The way I approach the law is I'm advocating for the best wishes of my client, not my wishes, not what I think is right, not what I think at all. I'm here only in service. And my service is to specifically the wish of my clients. So I do agree with you. I wish everybody wanted to just, oh, I'm going to take this to court. I'm not going to stand for this. I'm not going to walk away. I'm not going to let them get away with it. But there are a lot of people who have been traumatized and who are not as strong as you, who have not dealt with their trauma the way you have. And I see how much you have been able to work through your trauma and be able to be so strong to stand here in power and tell your truth. But everybody is not there. And for those people who are not there, to ask them to re-traumatize themselves and to go
I would
back
never
to
ask
the
that.
shit.
That's not what
No,
you
no, no,
said.
I'm not saying, but that's what it becomes, and
Yeah.
that's how they feel, which is why some of these situations get handled privately and others do not.
Well,
Okay, just before everyone starts jumping back in, 1 second,
It just
Tanya.
didn't
So
feel like you were advocating for the clients. It felt like you were advocating for people
just give me
on
1
stage
second.
that didn't
Just
want
give me
their secret to be told.
just give me 1 second. Just give me 1 second.
This lady is so triggered right now. You missed what she said. She literally told you, "I don't care about you. I care about whoever pays me to do what they want me to have them do. I'm doing that." Now, it is her job to make sure that she give her client the fairest shake, the most updated information, and things of that nature before doing any decisions that the client make. However, she's literally telling you, "I don't care about what nobody else doing or thinking. All I care about is what my client want me to do." You want her to care about something that she does not care about. And you know why? Because it hasn't happened to her. It hasn't happened to her. So that's why she don't care about it. It hasn't happened to her.
So one of the things I'm taking from this, Natanya, is are you saying that the survivors, the individuals, right, in this case, are going to be overshadowed from situations like hard drives being handed in and faceless and
Not
you know,
handed in.
faceless celebrities?
My desire that they should have been handed in and not on the news brokered for a catch and kill. That's my
Okay, I'm with you. Jaguar, one more question, then Ariel, I'm going to give you a chance.
But I need to say this really fast because I think where we're going wrong in this moment is that we're not properly putting something in context.
Okay.
It's there, but no one's seeing it. I'm going to say this, and then the other two things I'll wait.
Mm-hmm.
It is it's the spirit of the catch and kill, the NDA, and the payoff that has overshadowed Natanya Rubin's justice for over 2 decades. If the catch and kill culture, the NDA and payoff culture wasn't so firmly in place,
that's right,
you wouldn't even have anything to negotiate because the diddler would have been gone. So she is speaking from that place to you.
I don't think what lost in translation is I actually took accountability for the role that I have played even in the past and other people. But I agree that is the system. I have to work within the bounds of the system.
I understand that,
and I do agree that the system that exists has precluded her from getting justice that she should have gotten 20 years ago.
Exactly. And if that had happened when it should have, when her life was put in jeopardy, we wouldn't even be here having this conversation now.
We wouldn't.
Okay.
There would have been so many.
This is a great point. Thank you, Ann. Thank you. Thank you. You can't tell me. Here it is. I cried victim all day long. And then I take a payout. And then later on down the line, it's like, you know what? I'm still a victim. No, what you did was you monetized your victimization with the deal you made. It's the same way as monetizing your femininity or your masculinity. The only way I can get respect is if I make $75,000 to $100,000 a year in this relationship. Then I'll get the respect. You're not homebred with respect. I gotta pay for it. It costs me $100,000 a year. Never mind. I ain't gonna say nothing else. Let's go. Let's go.
So many women would have never been victimized. I agree. I would have 90% of my clients.
Okay,
I ain't trying to choose violence. No violence.
And again, for those in the side chat who are telling me to be quiet, we have a show. I need to let everyone talk. Courtney, before we do Ariel's outro, also tough crowd for you, Ariel. You've nailed it tonight. I have to say, you really done well. I want to say you're when I watched the interviews with you and Courtney on the street, you're a much different person on this interview, and you've done a fantastic job. But Courtney, how are you doing, mate? You've worn the crowd-pleasing glasses this evening. They are the one. How are you doing, sir? What is going on? And have you got the TV on in the background before we start?
I'm doing good. I only came on because Jaguar said Chris gave me something. Chris didn't give me anything.
Oh, I said that. I actually said that. And then Jaguar may have came in and said that, but before Jaguar was here,
Chris didn't give me anything. Chris can't give me anything.
Okay.
I am hip hop. I've been in hip hop for 35 years.
Okay.
You understand? Can't nobody give me anything. And I'm not programmed. I don't work for no Jay-Z. I don't work for no Diddy. Me and Wendy Williams been talking about Diddy. Well, I'm stop calling it Diddy, Lucifer. We've been saying that it's time for Lucifer to be banded out of the
just for the sake of more conspiracy theories, Courtney, because if you were on the side of Lucifer, saying his name would empower him in this situation. So I would just go with calling him Diddy, because I could make an hour worth of content pointing towards why you're saying Lucifer. So don't give the opportunity.
Okay, well, the one who's incarcerated. I'm not going to sit here and run games with or show that Chris gave me anything. And I met my attorney believe it or not, a day before I was summoned to court. So they had to knock it to the next day because I was too far out of the state. You understand? I had multiple homes, so they had to come to different homes to find me. So when they did find me, I called her because I saw her online. And Todd said she's a good attorney. I asked him about her. So that's what it was. It wasn't nobody programmed me. Nobody gave me anything that nobody spoke about. Nobody knows who gave it to me. You understand? They don't even exist. The courts have everything. You understand? Whatever they're going to do, I'm not a witness to anything. I was never at his party. I would never set foot in his house. I don't even think he had me at his house. You understand?
Yeah.
So to get it straight, the books was out today. I talked to the people. They sent me the receipts. They showed me the books were sent out. They were stopped, but they went out. Everybody should have their books this week. No, Chris didn't give me anything.
Okay, so how about this? Would you be willing, right? And I'm just saying, not because I'm a massive nerd, right? But if we compile, because I've got a Discord community, and they do love a bit of keyboard investigating. So I think a lot of times people are saying that's not what you said here, that's not what you said there. And I'll be honest with you, the more times that we talk, the more times I'm either convinced you're just a dude who's in over his head in a situation he was brought into, and then the other half of me is like evil genius, right? And I can't decide which is Courtney. And I think a lot of it is brought on by yourself because you don't really know how to do the internet, if you will. And
no, it's not about I'm over my head. You're not hearing me clear. You can't rewind nothing back and say Chris gave me anything. I didn't meet Chris.
I heard Chris say out of his own mouth on the Popcorn Planet subscriber only video that he gave you Ariel.
Yeah.
No, we're not talking about Ariel. We're not talking about Ariel. We said the Flash. The Flash.
We were discussing the connections to it all. You said Chris can't give you anything. Chris said indubitably he connected y'all to. I heard him say that. No one can tell me otherwise. I know it.
Okay, I didn't deny that. I said I saw her on the news and I asked Chris. He said she's a good attorney.
We're going to keep it a B right now. Ro, just pull the clip.
Yeah, well, listen. What I'd like to do is, again, just...
He did literally say that he got connected with Ariel through Chris. He did not deny that. He's saying that Chris did not give him any of the evidence that was confiscated by the state. That's what he's saying. I agree with this comment right here. And shout out to AKA the cat lady. Honestly, I jumped in and this feels like a victim measuring contest and it's really messy. Exactly. And thank you for coming in. I appreciate it. You know what I'm saying? Hopefully next time, just say what up to the people. You know what I'm saying? So we can make sure we show signs of love to the chat too. But yeah, I totally agree with this. Like he never said anything about that. So it's kind of weird, man. It's really kind of weird, man. We're gonna play this a little bit, and then we're gonna be done in a minute. Give me a second.
That you have Ariel because of him. He says,
okay, well, listen. It doesn't matter how I got Ariel. She's a good attorney. I have.
Well, wait,
just Natanya, please, Natanya. I need to respect the guests on the platform. And Ariel, you have mentioned already that you've been here way longer than you expected. I'm sorry I cut you off, Natanya. I'm not taking sides. I'm just I'm sadly the co-host who's been sent to the Lions because Sean said, I'm getting out of here. So and I just want to say,
because I almost was about to lean in and just hit the leave button, but I'm trying to be
polite. Well, listen, I just want to say as well from the Sean Atwood channel, I don't want you to think that this was like a hit job or anything like that. We have very, very passionate people in what I refer to as the Didosphere that travels, like Natanya said, 25 years. You're just being pulled into it now, as well as Courtney. But again, remember, people, Courtney is hip hop, all right? And there will be a drinking game at some point called My Friend is Tupac. But Ariel, is there anything you want to tell us all before you leave calmly on a positive note? Because I just want to say thank you so much for playing being a good support with this extra time.
Well, I've had a great time here, and thank you for the opportunity to come to this platform, actually get to interact with Jaguar and meet Miss Natanya, who I know and have been familiar with. It was nice meeting both of you women and getting to interact, and hopefully we can have more discourse moving forward, because we at least all have a common purpose, which is to see Diddy face retribution for his horrible actions. And I know Jaguar has a further purpose of seeing the whole industry go down for what has happened. I'm trying to do my part within that, including, you know, participating with the government, as well as filing the multiple cases. I have at least, I think it's 4 more cases, possibly 5 individuals. And these are just people who have signed engagement letters for me to do their lawsuits in reference to being abused by Diddy. So I do hope, as we continue to move forward, that justice will be served. And I wish we can, as a community, come together and figure out a way where we can nip this problem in the bud, so that it doesn't have to keep going 30 years before the, you know, an abuser is finally facing justice.
I agree. That was a great way to close. I think most likely what's going to happen is we're going to compile all the things that Courtney has said in interviews for the last 6.
All right. So that's the interview, because they're wrapping it up. So that's the interview that Ariel had today. Well, not today, but recently on the Sean Atwood show. And again, she had some time for herself to talk and things of that nature. They was asking her some general questions. Would you all like to go to the beginning of the interview with just her? If you put a 1 in the chat if you would like that. If you would like to just go to the beginning interview of just her, and then we can continue with that, because I skipped over that because I wanted to have the interaction of the interview with Jaguar and Courtney. The thing is, it was a little bit weird in the beginning because of the fact that of this live. It was weird. It was only weird because of the fact that they came in on the caddy note, and I'm trying to figure out what led Ariel Mitchell-Kidd to get to the caddy note off rip with Jaguar. I don't know if that was a natural instinct or what, but it seemed a bit weird. You know what I'm saying? It seemed a bit weird. If you want to see this part of the interview real quick for the next 15 minutes or whatever, let me know. Let me know. Just hit up, put a 1 in the chat. If not, we'll go ahead and cancel it and call it a night. I did put the link in the chat to see if anybody wanted to come up and talk about it with me, but I didn't get no participation, which is cool. So it's all good. It's all love. It's all right. You know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, definitely I appreciate everybody for coming through and watching this with me, you know what I'm saying, and reacting to it in real time. Like, this is pretty crazy. It's Jaguar coming in trying to automatically put her in a particular place, even though the place she putting her in is the same place you're in, which is that you want Diddy to go down for in the whole music industry and all this kind of stuff. And then you have somebody who's on the same team. They might play a different role, but they're on the same team, and then you challenge them first. Same thing with the lady that came in and all that kind of stuff. The victim of the shooting from back in the day in the 90s of the New York club. You challenge her first without even trying to get a perspective of where she's coming from, because you don't care about it, because victims don't care about what other people care about. Victims only care about themselves. Have you ever been in a relationship with someone and all they care about is themselves, and they care about their own viewpoint? They don't care about what you think about what they care about. And then when you finally try to give what they care about a chance, they want to then tell you, you're only doing that because you just want me to shut up, or you're only doing that because you just want me to move on. And I can't win for losing with you. I can't win for losing with you. You know what I'm saying? So it is what it is, man. But in the meantime, man, between time, thank you all so much for coming through to the Tay-Biz TV channel. I appreciate you all so much. Thank you all for the subscribers, those who like, those who subscribe, those who just show love. I didn't get no I didn't see any Cash App or PayPal or anything like that. So if you did send something and I don't see it, please forgive me. But thank you so much for the love and the support that you all give. We're gonna go live again for sure. Don't trust me. We are back like we never left, like my girl Chill said. Yo, it's your boy Tay-Biz. I'm out. Peace.
I brought that with me. Case they get too iffy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it. Put it all on my debit. Know how I'm coming, and they know what we hate. Around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN, working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out, cause all of my hitters too deep in. With a boy, I'm so ashamed. Ain't worried about long as my money and my green. Baby, I ain't got work tomorrow. Tell me what the business is. Ain't about no club hop. I'm trying to start some businesses. Shorty, you thought it was, they better know it's not that. Talking all that online, they knowing that it's not fake. Sliding through my hood, I make maneuvers like a Uber, baby. Got a 10-year plan, these can't tell what they doing lately. And I'm way too clean, I'm Listerine, I thought they been knew it. All in my lungs, I got my red cup full of that Henny fluid. Young middle Mad Mac, I'm swinging that leg, I'm banging that do or die. And I ain't that Lily before I get crucified. Living in my bloodline, this place in my family tree. How the they pressed, I did my best out of what they handed me. Straight out of that country, know my shawty thick as human air. And I need not mention no extensions, that's human hair. Boy, we grew in there. Around through that left side, low end. All of mine need more wins. If you got beef, don't come out. Cause my young hitter might go in. Uptown GN, working all through my weekend. Hoping these don't show out, cause all of my hitters too deep in. Tell them no stress, no biggie. Baby, I'm just too jiggy. Better know I brought that with me. Case they get too iffy. Baby, don't stress, don't sweat it.